Okay, let's call to order this Thursday, June 18th, 2026 meeting of the Board of Supervisors of Gateway Services District to order. It's 3 o'clock. Let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call. Let the record show that all board members are present, with the exception that we have Flavia online.
I don't know if she's online
She
yet.
wasn't online last time I saw her.
I thought you were talking to her a while ago.
No, it's Georgia.
Oh,
Flavia is not online
Not
yet.
online yet.
okay.
There are several other people online, but she is not
We'll
one
cross
of
that
them.
bridge when we get to it. Let's members of the board are here. Approval of final agenda. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Public comment. Do we have
All right,
anybody?
I have three. Sherry's is regarding the public hearing fee schedule. Sherry, do you want to wait and give your public comment during the public hearing, or do you want her to have it before, I guess, because hers is,
It has to be
I
at
think
the
it's
pub.
better.
okay, hers is the only one specifically related to the public
Are we,
hearing, so,
is the public hearing, are we going to go
right
into
after
the-
this.
Right after?
Yep.
After this meeting or
No,
right
right
after
after
this here?
this.
That's
It's the
what I
next thing
thought.
on the agenda.
Okay,
So
okay.
then I have two. The first one is Charles Schaefer from Hampton Park regarding FPL. Just a reminder, just please come up to the podium, state your name for the record. I will start the timer as soon as you state your name, and you'll have 3 minutes to speak.
All right, Charles Schaefer, Hampton Park. And as for the FPL, just want to know if you have any updates from the FPL as to what's going on with that linear, or the new lines that are going in. Has there a buffer zone been established for non-vegetation removal? That's my first question. Number two is the CD working in collaboration with the FPL to minimize the corona noise that's going to be coming with that new line. And when will this actual work begin as far as tearing the trees down or whatever they're going to do?
Thank you. That
All
was,
right, thank
that was nice. 2 weeks ago, I believe we answered two of those three questions. I don't know anything about the corona. That's over my pay grade. Can you respond back, Chelsea, that we have heard, we did tell people then at our last meeting what we have knowledge of?
It's actually
An
in,
agenda item.
it's an agenda item in this
Okay.
packet.
So we're
The
gonna-
most up-to-date we have. The most up-to-date information we have is included in today's agenda packet. So I can, Ed, do you just want me to hit those
Yeah, let's just
topics real quick?
hit the key points of it.
So,
I just want to let you know that I'm in.
oh, so. you
She's
need-
there now.
What, she here?
Flavia-
Yeah, Flavia's on.
You in South America?
She didn't answer. She's
A
muted. There she
motion
goes.
for allowing Flavia to fully participate in this meeting remotely due to exceptional conditions.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Welcome on. Okay, go ahead.
I've been told it's the end of this year is when they intend on starting, calendar year. I've been told that they're clear cutting. We are pushing back on the clear cut guidelines and regulations, asking for clarification on what is a guideline versus what is an actual statute or law or rule. And the corona noise, the ambient noise that I think you're the one who brought it up to Michelle. I'm still waiting on their formal response to your inquiry. So we are continuing to ask all of those questions that the community has brought up.
And
So-
and they did make one further thing, they stipulated too, that no part of any of their equipment was going to overhang area not owned by them.
They can't.
They cannot go there.
Yeah.
So but
They'll
it
stay
looks
within
like-
they will stay within their easement. They cannot go over all the way up the vertical clearance. So.
That's the best we got right now.
And we'll continue to provide updates any written updates on our website that we get from them, to Yove, to Justin, to the Hampton Park presidents, and as well as posting it on our website, and then in the agenda packets that we have here under district manager items. So But you're more than welcome to reach out to me directly at any time if you need, have any questions or have any, poke or follow-up. I'd be happy to do so.
Any others?
Yes.
Yeah, we have Marty Mantenfeld regarding agenda summary conclusion.
Marty Mantenfeld, Pelican Preserve. Going over your agenda for today's meeting, I've come to the conclusion that there's a lot of opportunity here. First of all, you're going to get a transmission line put in your backyard, okay? Clear cutting is going to be a fact of life because not clear cutting bankrupted Pacific Gas and Electric when they didn't clear cut because of the environmental conditions, and it started a fire, and they got sued and they went bankrupt. So you also have problems with generating revenue for the Sherman Soccer Complex. So with the transmission lines going in, why don't you sacrifice some land either on this plot of land or some of the Sherman Soccer Complex, put in a windmill and partner with NextEra Energy you're laughing, okay? Why don't you put in a windmill, generate some money, and get some revenue back, okay? Because
Feed into the system.
feed into the system, or you have, instead of putting it to the transmission system, you can put it into the distribution system and feed the wastewater treatment facility right out here. So that's another option. So you've got areas to generate revenue, and you can team with NextEra Energy, who's in a merger right now with Dominion. Okay, it's just an area of revenue, thinking outside the box. Thank you.
Anybody else?
That's it for the regular meeting.
That's it? Okay, so now we're going into the public hearing for the fee schedule for the district services. Is that correct, Tony?
Yes, if you'd like to.
Do we have something that we need to read?
Well, the notice of public hearing, publication, the ads,
Onto the mic, please.
the notices that were placed in the Fort Myers News Press, May 31st, are included in your agenda book,
Is it off again?
and we have the
Sorry, Tom, hold on.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, it's off.
Thanks,
It's
Bob.
on. The affidavit of publication of the notice of the public hearing is in the.
Still not
agenda
on.
book. Is in the agenda book.
His little circle's not lighting.
Yeah, all of the,
I'm checking. It came on green. I don't know what happened.
I'll keep it pressed down. Is that better?
That's fine.
As long as you have a green light.
Green light went off. It's on. Yeah.
The one on the right is the one you have to push to talk. The one on the left is mute.
That's the one he's pushing,
On the right.
and it'll light as long as he's holding it down.
Talk.
Hello?
You can share for now.
Okay, sorry, Bob. You want mine? The notice of public hearing, the affidavit of publication is in the agenda packet. It was published May 31st in advance, well in advance of the timeframes required by statute. And so it's appropriate for the board then to open the public hearing to take comments from any members of the public who wish to participate and provide their comments. And Laura, any emails, faxes, phone calls, texts, hard copy letters of anything, any nature, commenting on, providing comments or objections to the fee schedule?
Not that hasn't already been presented to the board, no.
I'm sorry?
Not that hasn't already been presented to the board. I don't have anything new for today.
Is there anything new after the May 31st publication? Okay.
the only thing I saw was just a clarification for everybody. We have the fee schedule effective as June 18th, which is included with the packet. And then on the
Mr. Chairman,
backside is
What I would
that.
suggest is you open the public hearing. Make
Oh,
have
we
a,
already had.
have a motion to
Okay.
open the public
We'll go
hearing.
ahead and open the public hearing for the fee schedule of the district's facilities and services.
Bob, you made the motion.
I'll second
Okay.
your motion.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Thank you.
You got me off track. I don't
Sorry.
know where I'm going. Turned over to you, Chelsea, and I think the big thing is that might explain just what those two different tables were. I think one was the red line on the front that was in the board book.
Yes.
And the one on the back is the actual fee schedule that is for presentation. Is that correct?
Let me just look, go to the next page.
There you go.
So the red lined was the previous version that you've seen,
I thought, okay.
and the non-red lined was what was presented in the
Notice.
notice.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Adopted clean, that's what we should be looking at?
One which is,
Adopted clean, that's what we're,
The red line version is the proposed, and that's what was available to the public when they asked it, after the last board meeting, the board revised what was going to be noticed and advertised and provided and presented. And so that's the red line version is
So you can
proposed.
see the changes.
okay, okay. So
And it's got strike through, underlining, red line, and other notations on there.
so would it be appropriate to open this up to the community for public comment?
Yes.
Yes, which you have. So now we'll turn into Laura for the public comment.
I have one, Sherry Schiller.
Hello, Sherry Schiller, and I'm here to comment on the Parks and Rec schedule. I read the charge for this umbrella and the other different things in the payment of private events. No problem. I can see, I've lived places where they always do that for birthday parties, whatever. But would it be possible, I have access to adult pools, but when I went over to your pool here and got my membership cards, you have a kiddie pool. And in the kiddie pool, it is a beautiful kiddie pool, a really good depth. The only thing I noticed is it needs shade. In this day and age, people are not going to bring their toddlers and infants with mama, like mama and me in the afternoon when they're fussy. And if there was shade, people might utilize it more because you won't take babies anymore out in that kind of sun. Now, maybe that was just the day I was there, but that was my idea, and I wanted to come now because I don't know where else to come. And then the other thing was, I would recommend for the future that the part-time park attendant position includes an adolescent of some sort who has a WSI and or a lifeguard qualifications and may be at the high school doing a swim team. And I don't know if the high school swim team does swim season at that 25-yard pool, but again, I don't even know who or what the protocol is to contact, but that might be another utilization of that facility. And so that's all I have, but since you're planning, I thought I would come over.
Tony, she raises a question that I've heard this hundreds of times. What's the liability of inferring security by the presence of a guard?
Access control or lifeguard?
Lifeguard.
You can never absolutely insulate yourself from liability. That's number one. Number two, you can always put signs around there saying that
How much own risk?
swim at your own risk, lifeguard may or may not be present, but swim at your own risk. And that's about all the other precautions you can try to take. And again, remember, we also have cyber immunity, so we try to, have limited, but that's the best you can do.
One idea is at least it brings up an opportunity to maybe, I don't know if the school has a swim team or not. I have no clue.
well, we've, over the years, we have engaged Swim USA, and I think they've tried to come out and have swim team at the location. I don't know why it doesn't stick, but
We have had the high school come and do some swim lessons, like practices at your.
Thank you. Okay, I got it.
but does Gateway High School have a swim team? They do? And where do they practice?
I don't know, do they practice out there?
I don't think there's a pool at the school.
Do they have an indoor or outdoor pool?
I don't think they have a pool at all at high school.
I don't know.
They've come and practice at, with us.
So I think, to answer your question, Yes, I think we are actively looking at pulling in more utilization for our amenities and facilities. Hopefully, when we hire our new Parks and Rec program person, that will be part of them pulling in, looking for swim lessons, swim team, water aerobics, which we do today, but enhancing that. The shade that's an interesting one because again, having 4 kids and shade can be very important at the younger age. We should probably look into maybe a movable, a temp. There's a lot of different types of temp shade structures. Because I don't know if we'd want a permanent fixture there because
Why don't you
sometimes
drill a hole, this is how I've seen it before, you take a pipe, drill it into the ground 3 feet, stick it in there, concrete it, and then you just take and put a
Well,
pole in there, and it's portable.
yeah, well, there's ones that I've seen now that literally are,
They project out.
yeah, they
You can
project
angle 'em.
out and you can kind of move them a little bit, but you can also pull them off to the side if someone that maybe has a little bit older kids and they want, to be in the sun. But I think the shade is important.
That'd be a good idea.
Yeah, so it's something we should look into.
Yeah.
What's the best solution for shade for that particular area? Because I agree with you. I mean, if you have a kiddie pool, shade is important for some, especially the smaller kids.
Is there signage up there with regards to making sure that any, child is accompanied by an adult and the adult regarding has to stay with them the whole time?
I believe we do have signage up there
Okay.
we have a general rules board.
But by
I don't think
design,
we have a
over the
sign that
years,
says that they must stay there all time. That I do not think we have it. But adults, it does say that children must be supervised. And I think that was changed after maybe a few years ago. Tony, you opined on that. And then we made a change, but I do not think it says they must stay with the child at all times.
I think the supervised language.
5-year-old is like watching a snake.
yeah. Well, I think by
Supervised.
design, our pool attendance, and we are trying to shift that naming convention because we just don't have the volume to have someone sit at the pool full time to be a lifeguard. So that's why we're shifting that role.
I think some of the shade ideas, we need to look at.
It's a good idea,
Yeah.
and we need to continue to try to increase the participation in any type of swim platforms that we can.
Any other questions relative to people on the subject at hand, the actual fee schedule?
So, Georgia, being that we did rent the other off-site location, anticipating a large turnout, do we have anybody over there that has any public comment?
We do not have anybody here.
Are you by yourself?
I'm by myself.
Public comments for the fee schedule.
Go ahead, come on
Sherry,
back.
come on up. Sherry, you gotta come up
You
to the
gotta come up
microphone.
I got hair done.
The other idea to get small children and mamas or dads to come would be to put notices when you're ready for that in the preschools, in the different places where little kids are, and just have it on a bulletin board.
Residents,
This
yeah.
is available and where for the people that,
I think that's all part of the notification process of introducing the new park.
great,
There's a bunch of
that's
stuff that's
wonderful,
gotta
because
be
I do
done.
think
There
there's,
needs to be there'll be a PR campaign as we launch to.
all right, that's
Yeah.
super.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If there are no other questions, anybody online?
No.
Okay, no other questions, any other comments by the board relative to the passing of the fee schedule?
And I have
Well, the board can go into discussion. I would suggest to have a motion and vote to close the public hearing.
I'll move to close the public hearing.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you. All in favor, say aye.
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 Okay.
Aye.
There is,
Who's going to say something? Carol?
yeah,
Or Doug?
if you don't mind, there is one point of consideration in the fee structure, and it has to do with the annual dog park pass. Depending on the outcome of our conversation later around the dog park and moving that potentially to the commons area. But even regardless, I think, based on the comment I made the last board meeting, that the dog park either needs to be an amenity
Should be parity.
that's covered by the taxpayers with no additional cost, it's free to residents, or if we are going to charge, then it has to fall into our philosophy of, 50% coverage. So I think we should strike the fee for the dog park in its entirety. And
At this point,
at this point, I would strike it and make it effective. When's the next? When's the next? Oh, they're on different cycles.
what, can this not be amended?
You could choose to amend the fee schedule at, with another public hearing and notice and following through everything that we've done today. But if you're contemplating, not charging your residents or charging a zero cost, you could put that in here, or again, continuing with that philosophy of allowing non-residents.
Regardless of what we do with the park, I think we have to be consistent. And so my recommendation would be to strike the fee for the dog park.
For residents?
For residents,
At this time.
at this time.
Okay, I'd agree with that. Is there a second to that, if that's a motion?
I'll second that.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, doke.
That's fine.
Sorry?
I can't hear.
We're now having discussion
No,
of
we closed
approving the
No, They
document.
closed the public hearing, which
Yeah.
means taking the comment from the public.
Yeah.
So then they can discuss and take action. Yeah, no problem.
No problem, no problem.
I can't hear whoever's talking, so.
The question
Marty
was,
was saying something from the audience about that we closed the public hearing, but we didn't close the public meeting as far as the
Oh, got
discussion
it.
of this topic. Okay.
Thank you,
So
Ed.
I think the next thing would be with the change suggested and approved by everybody for Doug, what he said on the dog park. Is there a motion to approve the fee schedule as shown?
Also move.
Tony?
what I would suggest is
second.
a motion to approve the resolution. What's the number of resolution, Laura?
2026.
2026-16?
With the revised fee schedule as further revised at the board meeting today.
That's what I said.
That's what you motioned?
Yep.
Is there a second?
Oh, yeah, I heard it. Yeah.
I'll second.
Okay. All in favor of approving Resolution 2026-16 as amended relative to the dog park, say aye.
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 Opposed? Thank you. We've already closed the public hearing, so before I take a chance of going forward, can I go forward with
Yes,
the
we've
next
taken
step?
action. This item, agenda item has been addressed, yes.
Document at the end of the day. It's in recognition.
Yes.
Do we have any local achievements and recognitions?
I do not. I'll bring up a couple items later under district manager items.
Advisory committee items and reports. We have 3, A, B, C, and D. Motion to approve those.
You have, if I could just ask that you can contemplate A and B, and then we do have Paul here from the Pratt Committee to do a presentation of C for you.
I'll make a motion that we approve 8A and C,
8B.
B.
8 and B.
So
I'll
moved.
second that.
Second.
Second. There's a motion made and second to approve 8A and B. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. 8C, basically 8C is a part of 8B because the recommendations is a part of it. Paul, you're up.
Good afternoon, folks. Thank you for allowing me to speak. My name is Paul Leogrand. I'm representing the Parks and Rec Committee today. So yes, Ed, as you said, we have the minutes and the report that we put in B, and this is kind of encompassing that. Two main points, though. Well, one main point with the dog park, it was our recommendation that that is moved to the commons area as well. So if you read through that report, it's in there. We were asked to come up with a few different ways to, in a previous workshop that we had with you all, we were given a budget of $200,000, and we were asked to come up with some ways in which we would recommend that those funds being used in different ways. So we put together this capital improvement prioritization recommendation, and because we don't have a knowledge of how much these things will cost exactly, we've prioritized these things over the course of the next 3 years or 4 years, what we would like to see handled first. And cost does come into it, right? So we prioritize this list. We reviewed 3 CIP initiatives and introduced and ranked them, after discussion on what we would like to see. So we approved this list unanimously. We all agree that this is the best way to use these funds to start with. The first would be the linear park improvements, all right? So we'd like to see that accomplished first, and we're talking about bringing in a few different ideas, but a skills park, incorporating a skills type of park within linear park, where you would have stations for exercise routines and activities that are made available to the community. We like this idea because it's kind of an unused space. We don't see a lot of activity happening over at Linear Park. And we feel the budget restrictions are really not too bad, right? We have 2 quotes in that Carrie has worked on for us, and that's through Florida Recreation Products, and 2 different flavors. Basically one with 5 of these exercise stations available and one with 7 of these. And the one with 7, as far as the work itself, is budgeted about $51,000. So not too expensive when we're talking about putting this in place. Now, it doesn't include the foundation that would have to be laid, cement and all that. It's basically the improvement on top for those. And we're going to continue to have discussions there as far as what flavor we would really recommend to you. But we feel at this point, that would be our priority, right? The linear park improvements.
So would these be basically stations along the linear park?
Correct. Yeah, they'd be stations, and we can have the opportunity to kind of put them closer together, but spread them throughout the path as well. We also were in discussion of creating a kind of QR code exercise routine that's very inexpensive to manage, where people would take a picture of a QR code at a station, and it would lead them through available exercises that were available. And we could expand on that too.
So, can I offer maybe something in addition to that? So, with the linear park, what I see is activity and exercise, but also leisure. One of the areas that gets used a lot in our Stony Brook community, and I'm amazed at how much it gets used, is literally a bench with under a tree, shade structure, overlooking the pond. There's always someone sitting on that bench, either if they're walking their dog and they sit down, or they're with their kids, or sometimes just people in the community just go and sit under the tree and just watch the pond. I know on that linear park area, because I used to live in Pinecrest on one of those ponds, we used to spend a lot of time sitting in my backyard watching the otters just circle around the ponds.
Great.
It was fantastic. I mean, I couldn't believe it. But maybe we can incorporate activity and exercise, but also a component of leisure with a bench, maybe even a shade tree or something in addition, so we can accommodate kind of both aspects.
I think it's a great idea, and it kind of leads to why we want to target in on Linear Park, because we could expand it at a relatively low budget, and quickly we could deploy these things without huge impacts elsewhere, where it makes a lot of sense.
Would we be able to, Tony, this might be a question for you. I know it's good for the goose, maybe it's good for the gander. Can we go in and let's say we set up a linear park and we had 5 or 6 of these stations? Could we go into those areas, let's say an acre size, acre, half acre, clear cut it, put grass in there and make it, right now you go down there, you walk off that path, you're afraid you're going to get bit by a snake or attacked. It's horrible. So the first thing you have to do is some type of site work at each one of these to make it attractive to somebody would even want to go off the path. But do we have any prohibition to do that?
I always have to reread the right-of-way agreements and FPL easements, but I don't believe so, off the top of my head from what I read.
See, going down that path and having a path go off to a little 1 acre area where you would have a exercise deal or something like that, while it may be still a little bit primitive, it's not dangerous that you go in there. Can we do that? Because that's stuff that's not that expensive to do.
Sure.
So isolated.
If you want, so what I would suggest is let Paul get through his presentation, and then we can have some board discussion on potential future ideas. Because I think a lot of your ideas that you're mentioning, we have done an extensive amount of effort to clean up the linear park, and I'd like for Paul to give his,
Well,
the Prax presentation on that.
when you enter Gateway from the north and you make the swing through the FPL and look south, down, southeast, down the deal, looks like a jungle.
We're getting
It
there.
looks horrible.
We're getting there.
So,
We're
but
cleaning
if
it
we can do that, that's not a high-cost item to do.
Right.
To get in there and clear an area, let's say an acre, to have 5 stations. That would be easy to do.
Yeah, agreed, absolutely. And I think along with that, at least what they are projecting now is that these stations are actually pretty much directly on the path. Not on, but right off the path itself. So in the current, at least, image of what it is, it's not that they're walking off of the path to these stations. It's basically just one side to the next of the path itself, right? So, but absolutely, we would want to make sure that all of the, the foliage is taken care of and we have all that.
I think one of the things that you need to do some research on is which gets the most usage. A linear park where there are stations at every, 50 yards or 100 yards, or a linear park that leads to a central station. And I've seen both of them, like the one in North Collier seems to get a lot of usage when it's centralized, as opposed to a destination to destination to destination, type component. So I love the idea. We just need to figure out which is most effective, a more centralized area or a station by station.
I don't know the answer to that either way. I have no idea.
It's difficult. So what we did was we did some research of parks similar to this out on the West Coast. Problem is the demographic is different too, right? So a lot of, when we're talking about bringing technology into these kind of stations, they're basically empty stations and they're people that are very much into technology and able to take the QR code and understand. They watch a video and they do the exercise, right? Whereas maybe us in our kind of what people would want is what you're saying, Doug, right? At the end of it or at a certain area, you have that you work towards or work to and nothing on the path leading up to it. I mean, the sky's the limit, right? And I don't think any of those really would have a great impact on budget in that case. It's just a matter of
What Doug was saying earlier is people doing something as simple as going to a bench.
Right.
And setting. So if you would have, let's say, tie 5 benches at 5 locations up with 5 ponds, to where you have something just to stop, sit, and look at.
Yeah.
That's an option also.
Yeah, I love the idea. I think directionally the approach is, it's a great idea.
Yep.
We've been talking about, and as long as you and I have been on the board, talking about trying to do something with this linear park, because it is part of our documents and we've just never been able to do so. This is a good step forward.
Great. Excellent. I won't hold you up very much longer. If you look at the slides, we talk about why we feel that that's the most important and the item to be prioritized. There are 2 other things that we would like to prioritize, one being electronic signage at the Commons Park. Now, I know from discussions at the PrAC meetings, we've understood that this was actually voted down by the Board of Supervisors, I think last year, when you were discussing the layout for Commons. You had proposals in front of you for electronic signage, for sponsorship advertising, information to the community as far as events that are taking place. And I believe it was voted down for budget. I can't answer that 100%. But I think I would ask you to take this into consideration at this point again. And it's not necessarily only at Commons Park. I think we could use electronic signage that isn't as substantial too as what was voted down. The images that I saw were very large permanent signage solutions, right? I think there's space along Gateway Boulevard to have electronic signage in some format that would promote sponsorship, allow us to get some revenue built from that, and really keep people up to date, that we're just not using the space up and down Gateway effectively, we feel. So that's the electronic signage portion of this.
What was the cost of the electronic signage?
I have a question.
One second, Bob.
Hold on
What
a
was
second.
the
Go ahead, Doug.
price
The
on that?
second, Flavia.
It was a little north of 100,000.
Right, that's what we
That
said.
was like around,
See,
yeah.
what I like what you're saying is that the sign that identifies the deal is one thing, but as they pull in, because we only have basically one way of ingress egress.
Right.
Capture them right there. We used to have, I remember out here years ago, we had a sign. It was it was crude, but it was a sign. And the one thing you want to do is to inform people. It doesn't have all kinds of, have to have all kinds of glitz and glitter to it. Make sure it's like a scrolling deal that says so-and-so events this week or whatever. I'd much rather take a first step, put that thing right there at the entrance of where we come in, right off the bat, letting everybody know about one, turn left to go to the admin building, go right to go to this, whatever.
Right.
But any programs that we're putting up, put them right there on that sign. If they don't see them there, they're never going to see them. They're never going to see them.
I have a question.
Yeah, Bobby, go ahead.
Paul, so two things. So I'll go with the sign first. So if I hear you correctly, you're looking for a sign, not specifically at the building, right? Maybe in a better location on Gateway Boulevard?
Correct.
Would that be something, or you, okay. Because then I'll be in line. I think I'm worried about how heavy the oak trees are near the building, and you kind of have to be already in there to see programs and things like that. I was thinking almost by Royal Greens, between Royal Greens and the tavern, opposite side of the road, there's like a clear area. There's like no palms, no nothing, no trees. That would be an area which I'll be inclined to see what would it be. Second of all, would the parks be willing to reach out to some of the local business in Gateway and try to get their feedback regarding this? Would they be willing to jump in just to aid us and seeing you know, what the buy-in would be from those commercial places in Gateway? I think that would also help the board to maybe put this back on to the agenda and revise the decision that we made that.
100%, Flavia, and I feel like we're taking this, we're owning this, so we would be more than willing to go and do some research and speak with the community businesses and see what the temperature is on that. I think that's a great idea.
With that
I
type of
loved it.
design, what I'm envisioning, something is crude, a little bit more crude. I'm looking at something, would it be possibly even be portable?
Right.
Where you would have it at that
That was my
at that
next point.
location for 2, 3, 5, whatever days a week.
Right.
But then to take advantage with the hundreds of people who are over here, park it and wheel it out here when you have the events like on the weekends with the soccer and flag.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. And I was going to make
Oh,
that comment. Right?
Well, one more thing. So when you leave the meeting today, because I almost think that there's opportunity to have two signs for two different things. I totally agree with that we need a smaller version sign, similar to what Silver Lakes actually have. If anybody's familiar with, Silver Lake actually has a sign by their gate. And it's kind of just informative to the resident what's going on. So I think a sign like that would be something that definitely could be at the admin building, directional or events and things like that. But a bigger sign that could generate some money outside on Gateway Boulevard, you know, I think that's the route to go. So I kind of would like us to look at both things. Something small. I think, you know, I can find out how much Silver Lakes, because they just put that sign up maybe a year, 2 years ago. It hasn't been there for that long.
Right.
If you look at, let's just say, an investment of 90 to 100,000, it would only take about 1,500 a month in revenue to pay for it in 5 years.
Yes.
Exactly. I mean,
I
I think we were shied away originally because 100K was a lot for
Right.
us to invest this year in the budget. But I think if we break it down, like even if you look at a 10-year plan, I don't know what the shelf life of that is.
Find out if that's even sellable. If that's
Yeah,
sellable, then you got an opportunity.
Sure. But I also think it's also different, again, to your point, it's within our budget now, right? So if we're talking about linear park improvements being about 50,000, give or take, it gives us a lot of space to invest those funds in a real generating item right away.
Here's the thing.
When this thing opens, August 5th,
August 5th is substantial, September 5th is final.
Thanksgiving.
Next
I
week.
feel some wiggling going on, but anyway, when it becomes available, how are we going to communicate to people? That thing would be, that
Right.
sign would be the way to do it, because they sure as hell don't read stuff here in this community. I guarantee you that. They don't read it. I didn't know that. Well, you didn't open up the email that says what was going on. You put it right in front of their face where they have to see it. Now they got an opportunity. I think that would be very informative to have that ready to go when we get started.
So
Because there'll be a lot of questions.
here's what I would suggest is Paul is presenting on behalf of PrAC their conceptual ideas of how they're going to propose to spend their 200K. If you approve in concept these ideas, then they need to go back and they need to pull the details on, based on this feedback that they're hearing. But, so this is item 2 out of the
Item
3?
2 out of the prioritized
There's
3.
nothing that says on the linear park that can't be phased.
Right.
So we could do, if we want to do a 5-station deal, we could do a 1-station or 2-station. But spend the time and the effort on those 2. My deal on item number 3, personally,
Right.
is hell freeze over before I approve
Well-
that. I don't think it's needed in this community. They don't want it. But those first 2 I can see are advantageous.
But let him present it first.
No, it makes sense, and we're in alignment there to a certain extent, right? We feel that the community pavilion in the 3rd phase, it's obviously, we're deferring it, as you can see in the slides, right? We're saying, let's push that back. What we want to make sure of is that we don't lose sight of that, because we feel that it would be a really good centralized town meeting space for people. And the uses, we could do so much with what we envision for this pavilion. We're talking about a larger pavilion that the back is towards the lake, looking up at the pool, right? So down there. Now, we understand, when we looked at this 2 years ago, we were considering, budgeting that, and that alone is well over the 200,000. Let's just put that on the table. So we're just kind of presenting a future thought, like we have this in mind. We don't want to lose track of it. We feel it would enhance the community appropriately. But our intent is to move 1 and 2 forward. If possible, and you all recommend us to do it, we can put it together. We could say, let's take the 200,000, get the signage done in order, to launch with it, and the linear park at the same time, and go with
If I
that.
can just ask
In other
you,
words, address those 2 as
Yeah.
your top priority.
Right.
if I could just ask you to take this back too, as you're focused on the linear park and whether it's the activity and exercise or the leisure component, take one step higher and think about Gateway as a whole, our sidewalks. And I think there's an initiative behind this, whether it's, Get Out Gateway or whatever, because we do have some benches in Gateway. People are walking. The linear park would be an extension
Right.
of that activity, exercise, and leisure. But I think there's
Throughout the
a
community.
program or an initiative behind it that's, Get Out Gateway, or and the linear park becomes a part of that larger Get Out.
Even a start or an end point, something that ties the whole community together with
Well, what
it.
changes it, the one thing that changes it is the common park now allows access to it.
Yes.
That's the big difference. You have a place to come in.
Well, we used to have Patriots Pass up in northern Jersey, right, in that area, and the idea is that it could come and intersect, like what you're saying. It could come and go through the community even, right?
I think
So-
that would be the understanding, I think, of the board is go back and let's start looking at expanding on both 1 and 2 to try to come up with something.
Awesome.
So I will throw the wrench in all of the things. We have the FPL Orange Puma line.
I was
which
gonna
you
say, is
have-
it FPL?
Yep.
you have addressed and discussed
that, yes.
and the timeliness of that. But regardless, I know that with FPL, they require consent agreements, and that we may have to contemplate getting a consent agreement from FPL to put some of these items in within that easement area. It's not that it's not doable, it's just,
Has to go through an
it's a
approval.
process.
Yep.
Hold on a minute. This is going to get ugly here in a minute. Does not our orders call that Gateway was established with 132 or 126 acres of the FPL easement is identified as our park area?
Understand, but we had, prior to that time, there's a pre-existing 3 easements that are in existence.
The
And I'm
utility
reading
easement, right, yeah.
one of them now. And again, I don't have the legal descriptions for all 3 memorized, but they talk about the patrol road, which was built in conjunction with the retention ponds, and that's the pedestrian. And what it says is, FPL and owner agree the owner at its sole risk and without liability to FPL may use the patrol road as a pedestrian and bike path. And there's no other reference to any of the utilization other than bike path in
I
the
want to make
easement.
sure that they.
I'll double check the other easements, but that's one of them.
I don't have any problem that FPL has some input into it. We know the issue of the 15 feet. But when it comes down to us to using it as a park. And as it was a
That's
planned
mandated.
deal, that was part of the deal.
But there are constraints, the 14-foot issue, the landscaping, the mounding, and also
But
potential.
no is not an answer.
But other uses. And
But
that's-
my
we need their
point
consent.
was just to bring out that there may be an additional process
Yes, there might
before
be.
just quickly implementing, that we have to do a little bit of due diligence, but in concept, these three items, PrAC is presenting as a committee, just like if PPAC has an idea, they're presenting these concepts to you for your blessing in order to go and implement or start the implementation
Before we spend
process.
any big money, we can get a preliminary plan put together that shows them what the idea is of a multi-phase project to utilize that linear park for, let's say, 5 areas to do
Whatever
exercise,
number of areas
whatever.
they come up with. We want them to present to us a plan. We go up or down.
Yeah.
That's
I
fine.
agree.
You're on the right track, Paul.
Great. Excellent. Thank you.
They're not in a real, very good position of winning friends and influencing people with the
Right.
stunt they pulled off going up there as it is.
Yes.
So I would think that they want to work with us.
So Paul, did you have any follow-up questions for the board, being that you're here presenting in front of them?
The only thing is that we are in summer session right now, so we're off for the next 2 months, right?
So are
So-
the other committees.
Right, so we won't be getting back together until September. So the issue with that is the signage probably will not be ready for the launch, but soon after, as soon as we can. All right, thank you,
Do we
folks.
need any type of a motion
I do-
accepting the advisory committee report?
Oh,
What,
I have-
Flavia?
Okay, so I do have a question I was gonna ask for all my questions at the end, and it was regarding the dog park. So because I did not go in and watch the meeting, my concern, and I kind of voiced that at the last meeting, we have the area at the fun park, and I did talk to Chelsea about this. We know no matter what we put in there, we're going to get pushback from the community that lives and adjacent to the park. I try to think it is the less evil things that it's going to go there. And I still strongly believe that the dog park is going to be what is going to have the less amount of impact to those residents. We know if we try to sell it, they're going to be opposed to it. And we're talking about the board, the sitting board, the 5 of us that are now that can make the decision. So I'm trying to think, how can you utilize that space and have the least amount of impact to those people? And I go back to all the ideas that the PrAC, has come up with it, previous members of the PAC, the residents, and so forth and so forth. And I still strongly believe that the dog park is probably the best thing for it right now, unless somebody can come up with it. So I kind of wanted to know, Paul, did the PrAC put that in when they thought about, suggesting that the dog park would stay at the commons? Because it's a great idea, but I have to think of it, what would I be using, or what future boards will be using the fun park for? Does that make sense?
Yes, and it's a question that we have voiced in our meetings too, like what would that space be for? I will say this, so we haven't really done enough research to see what the impact is with the residents. However, the last meeting we had a few people come and express how upset they were, because people talk and rumors get started, how upset they were of a possibility of the dog park moving to the fun park. They were very much not entertaining that idea. But we also brought up and discussed the fact that rumors are it would be gotten rid of completely. So our point of view is that, no, we're not recommending that the dog park be removed from Gateway. That wasn't the recommendation. However, we understand it needs to move because of the improvements that need to take place in the parking scenario. And we would recommend moving it over to the commons simply because it's a common space now. Right, so we want to, our vision of promoting everything, tying everything together, even linear park on the backside, everyone is kind of coming together in that one area. The fun park has the space for a dog park. I think we even had some images plotting out what the size differences would be. We just simply heard some feedback that residents would be upset. Now, that being said, I think it would be another thing that, again, Parks and Rec can take on to kind of do some research and reach out, maybe get a pulse on what the community would say about it being over there.
And I
Well,
think that's a good idea because I believe that if you ask them what do they want, they're going to say nothing. But then we're doing the disservice. Listen, I'm all for it, the dog part there. I'm all for selling it and getting the money and offsetting, parks and recs on the other side. Um, I just, and I think Doug can speak of that because he lived in that community. Um, no matter what we do, we all know it's not going to be a good idea. And I'm not opposed of asking them. And what they're going to tell us is do nothing. It's fine the way it is. But then there is a disservice because there's an area that we can generate money, sell it, and offset something else. There's a thing for that. I just want us to keep in mind of everything, not just the small picture, but the big picture when it comes to location and why and future decisions. That's all. Thank
100%.
you, Paul.
Thank you.
Thanks, Paul.
Okay,
Thanks.
so,
Thanks, Paul.
Mr. Chairman, if we could just summarize what direction we are giving to Paul is to ask him to take number 1 and number 2 back to the PrAC committee and for them to come up with a definitive plan within the $200,000 budget.
Definitive phase plan.
Yes, as to your recommendations as to how 1 and 2 would look, be implemented, how much they cost, all that sort of stuff. Is that correct? Am I correct?
Yep.
Okay.
And like what Tony was saying is if we can get sketches or whatever of the linear park plan before we go any further down the road with FPL, get over to them what our concept idea is. Because I don't want to spend a lot of money on whether it's engineering fees or landscape architect fees or going out and clear cutting areas to get them ready for some type of a deal and then have FPL come back and say, no, you're
Can't do
within
it.
14 feet, you can't go in there.
Right.
Ed, one other comment on that, and that's part of what Chelsea was saying, due diligence, because there are a number of documents that provide the easements, and they have different language in them. So it might depend upon what area of those 3 easements that may have the flexibility to have additional facilities.
So
or additional
Tony, are you
areas.
saying that PrAC needs to come to us with a plan and then then
At what point do you
FPL
get
and
involved?
you will opine on that particular thing?
I think the easiest thing now would be have a surveyor sketch out, and we have the surveys, we can find out which of the easements apply to which area, which easement has the most flexibility. We can identify that
Are
in
you
the
saying
linear park.
that each one of those easements have a different requirement?
Some have different language. There's an earlier one that has different language than some of the others.
Well, the one concern I had, and I don't know to what extent this gets involved, you look at that east side of that right of way plus the new one that's coming through. That's high-powered stuff.
Yeah.
The ones to the left side or the west side might be the one where they tell us they want us to be under it instead of being underneath those high tension lines on the right side. I don't know.
So once PrAC has a concept, I will gladly run that by FPL before we engage with legal counsel, and they may, and we'll go from there.
But also,
Sounds good.
in the meantime, we may
Find
want
out what
to,
our limits
Crawl
are.
before you walk, walk
but
before you
we
run.
also may want to talk with Tetra Tech about taking this one easement, for example, and identify where is this located in the whole
Yeah,
long length, because it may have flexibility.
Unfortunately, in that FPL easement right now, the road, the park is in the area where is probably we have the most problems.
Yeah.
It would be nicer if that road was over closer to the Commons Park.
Agreed.
But anyway,
Great.
so you got an idea what to go with.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thanks, Paul. Thank you.
And then Tony, do you need a motion for that?
I'll work with Chelsea on that.
Okay.
Okay, moving on. Approval of minutes. There a motion to approve the minutes of the Pond Subcommittee and the Board of Supervisors.
I shall move.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
10, we've got a bunch of consent agenda items. Any that anyone wants to pull?
No, I would just like to comment, I was surprised. I thought the total of all these engagement letter proposals would have been more, honestly.
All the fees?
I have
All the
revised
fees.
letters to submit if you want.
Put your hand down, Tony.
Tony's going to go back and change his item real quick.
Set
$250.
those down.
The only
So
one,
I was pleasantly surprised.
the only thing I had is just wanted to get a confirmation because of the fact of what's going on in my community at Gateway Greens, is that item number B, development bond at West Haven. That's our good friends at Lennar. Is that number fair and reasonable as an amount that we would hold on them on releasing?
No, it's just releasing
This is
everything.
releasing, this is,
I thought it was holding 10%.
no, this is, we've held 10% for 3 years. We should have released it in January. What I'm asking is the release contingent upon these 3 or 4 items in here. Basically,
So are we releasing 10%?
releasing the remaining bond,
The remaining.
which is 10%
Okay.
of the original bond.
Well, just because of our record up at Santa Luz with them, I'm not going to give them the benefit of the doubt on anything, to tell you the truth. So the issue is that these items have been done except for some, or they have?
I'm asking that you approve the release contingent upon approval from the district engineer that these 3 or 4 items are resolved
Have been completed.
and then we can release.
What's
So
the
with that-
total, what's the total amount of the proposed
37,000
26 bond?
Oh,
Jumping ahead a
We
little
passed
bit.
that already.
we haven't.
What-
I don't know.
What's the total amount of the
I have
20
no idea.
proposed 2026 bond?
The bond, it was right around $6 million. I don't have the total right in front of me right now.
He's talking a different
On a
item.
different item.
Yeah.
That's what I
Well,
thought.
Oh,
it's
we were
under
done with it.
consent.
Yeah.
So, motion to approve consent, 10 A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and H.
There's a motion to approve A
I'll
through H.
second
Is
that.
there a second? Flavia, what?
Second.
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 Okay. All in
I'll
favor, say
second that.
aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you for the explanation. District engineer,
Ed,
who's
what
on
was the,
board?
Ed, what was the vote on that?
Unanimous.
5-0,
5-0.
unanimous.
Thank you.
It's just a delay. I know that's what you ask.
Yeah, sorry.
Who's coming on with Tetra
Stephen
Tech?
is
Steve's
here.
Hey, Ed.
Okay. Hi, Steve.
Good afternoon, everyone. Stephen Agapi.
Oh,
You
hold
got
on.
quiet. You got quiet.
Can you guys hear me?
Now I can.
Come a little bit closer to your microphone.
Who's on, Steve and
Steven.
Wyatt?
Just
Steve-
Steven.
just Steven.
Okay.
All right,
Steve?
guys. Good afternoon. Stephen Agapi, Tetra Tech District Engineer. Let me know if there's any other sound issues. Today we have the task authorization update, irrigation enforcement improvements. No new update on our end. We're just waiting for the funding agency to come through and for, I think there's an ongoing agreement renewal with FP&L and the district.
Is that still
FY25
slated for December? Is that anticipated date still hold true?
I honestly don't have an answer for you. There's too many. It'd be a
We're waiting.
guess.
We're waiting
Yeah.
on the grant funding to be released.
FY25 lakes, Met Tower has wrapped up the last 2 lakes of this round, 75 and 81 in Daniels Preserve. We have the last thing to do is to do a final walkthrough, but the 2 lakes came out really well. So we're closing the chapter on that one.
And under budget.
There you go. Lake Bank Restoration HMGP, we've submitted our final drawings to Lee County for review for DOs and to HMGP for their review. We're just waiting for any review comments they may have and address those accordingly. Pelican Preserve Boulevard Mill and Overlay, we have a recommendation of award later on in the agenda. Sherman Soccer Complex parking expansion, we are working with Ferguson to finalize the stormwater treatment design. And once we get that, we'll be able to submit our response to the RAI and the DO and ERP with Lee County in South Florida. Public Works Building Relocation Site Plan. We're expecting to get our ERP this month from South Florida. We will need to resubmit the DO based on some comments we received from the county. So that'll be the next step, along with submitting a building permit application to Lee County.
It's taking so long.
Which one?
The Public Works, the The
Because
building.
we originally had slated it for the back 40, and then we had to move it up here, and then the county, we've gone through a couple renditions of resubmittals with the county. We had to do that interlocal agreement, we did that, so it's close.
Go ahead, Steve.
Yeah, the building's already done.
Yeah. Gateway Commons Park and admin building. Eric attached the OAK's projected construction schedule. I don't know if anyone got a chance to look at that, but it essentially outlines all the tasks that are remaining and their estimated completion time, just as a backup if anyone was curious.
Steve, the question, I looked at that thing pretty closely. Is that a combination of both the building and the sports facilities?
Yes.
It is,
Yes.
isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where's
I'm seeing a lot of single digit and small dual digit % completes.
I agree. Yeah.
Scroll.
I know. Yeah,
I think a lot of them are just either waiting for the lead item ahead of them to get completed so they can start on those. So
A
some of
lot
them
it's
don't have start dates
sequential.
until like next month. Yeah.
okay.
Or next week, I'm sorry.
Well, so Ed, the first section, like for the building itself, a lot of that's sequential. So that like the drywall's got to go in before you can start to run the conduits and things like that. And that's why you see, low percentage completes.
With the conduit's got to go in before you put the drywall in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're doing spray foam next week on Monday.
Okay, well, we're going to talk about that later on. My concern is, and Tony, I think, may even opine on this a little bit, and when we were walking through there, we have got to get, before they put that drywall in, I don't know if any of you have had the occasion to go down and look at it. I mean, it is unbelievable. You can take and stick a nail in the wall, and you're going to have a pretty good chance of hitting something. Once you put that insulation in, and then you put that drywall in, it's catch as catch can. Just like in your house, when you're going to put up a TV, where are the studs? How are you going to hit it? How do you hit a water line, electrical line? Why do we want to take that guess? We need pictures of all of that.
That's what I'm doing.
As-built don't get it, so we need to do that.
I'm doing that tomorrow,
Okay.
personally. I'm
But
going
that
to.
that was issue one, and while we're on the roll on that one, are we insulating the interior of that building?
I mean, a ceiling area above the,
the interior walls?
The noise, if you go in that building and see what we've got, that noise is going to be horrible if you go from room to room and there's no insulation in those
That's
walls.
what the spray.
Worse than pickleball?
That's what the spray foam.
It is going to be foamed, spray foamed?
Yeah.
Interior walls, not only interior but exterior.
I'd have to confirm on that and look at what they have planned, but the intent
So
is.
they're not going
well,
to
if
use.
you're doing
any-
interior walls, you better have it all planned out, because once it's filmed in, now it's major if you make a change.
No, well, the worst thing you don't want to do is to go back and do like a lot of people have learned, have to drill a hole in all the walls to put the foam in, because when you get those metal studs, you get a hole here to cover that area, go next there to a hole here with that area. That's a pain in the neck.
Well, you also need to think about any future running
Additions.
Infrastructure.
Electronic.
tech,
I just want to make sure that
wiring.
we've got that thing insulated
I don't see
properly.
Tech designing a
More for
building
noise.
without insulation.
Okay, if you check on that, that
Yeah.
would be fine. Go ahead, Steve.
All right. CCTV Storm, APS, the contractor, is wrapping up phase 1. They're projected to finish mid-July. I think that's the only update I got for that one. Chelsea, unless there's anything else you want to add to that.
If we do, we'll bring it up under Tony's items later.
Okay. Griffin Drive sidewalk. We submitted draft plans for staff review. We got some good comments back from Paul and Chelsea, and we had a meeting last week to go over those. We're currently making revisions to those plans, and then we should have like that completed set, updated set done next week, ready for applications. The tree line sidewalk, we got our survey back last month at the end of the month, and our plan for this one is to have a pre-application meeting with Lee County, DOT, and the city of Fort Myers just to talk about the the right of way there. There's a lot of landscaping and a lot of stormwater. So we just want to get all the stakeholders involved and have a constructive meeting before we continue forward with the design much further.
I have one comment or question. Is the sidewalk or multimodal path, whatever we want to call it, going to be as close to the road as the C5 area was, or are we going to have more of a setback?
That's one of the questions we have to ask the city and
That one-
and the
Let's get the
county.
biggest setback we can.
That one was awful close.
It is.
It's
It's
awful
terrible.
close.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
you know, ideally we can get it as far away from the road as possible. There is a swale there, so there'd be some impacts to the swale. And then of course there's a lot of, you know, established vegetation. So trying to make everyone happy and do the least amount of impact and, you know, not have to do a bunch of stormwater improvements to keep the cost down. So, yep, definitely a point taken. And I agree with you. We'll do our best to keep it away from the road. Gravity rehab project. We got some comments from staff that we're waiting to update our plans and specs. We should have that done in the next week or so, and that'll be ready for bidding. The 2026 NPDES annual report, that one it just got set up recently. Eric's working on that with staff to do that annual report. GIS support services. Our team has updated the water and wastewater irrigation system across the district, and it's now been synced with the work order system that staff uses so they can track, you know, the work that's been done with the GIS. We've added all the locations of the AMI meters. As far as the stormwater, we've worked with staff and updated the GIS and have also incorporated new information that we've been gaining from the storm pipe contractor that's out there cleaning right now. We've been incorporating all these changes in real time. Recently,
One question on that, if I can. Pelican is currently going back to every single catch basin and measuring what is the capacity of that catch basin. Is it a 3-inch, 6-inch, 36-inch, and noting that on the GIS.
Who was doing that?
The Ponds Committee and Ed Hedges, but they've got the data.
You mean the storage capacity?
All the gradings of the streets. What is that catch basin capacity? So you go in and we get a report now that says it's 50% full. Is it 50% of 10 inches or 50% of 36 inches? So, but the point was what they're trying to do now is to capture that data on the GIS. So I don't know if we've got that level of detail yet over here, but we ought to try to get that.
We're lucky to have the catch basin not low.
Well,
No,
well, I
what is
understand
depth?
that, Ed, I'm with you.
No, we have everything we took everything from Passarella. So if there's any updates that are being done, we can just simply pass that data off to Tetra Tech to update it. We did see the forward-facing, public-facing, a draft, very rough, crude draft version of what that may look like. And so we're working out what we want it to look like and make it for ease of access.
Ed Hedges involved in that
No,
activity?
he
I
is
hope
not.
we need to
because
get him deeply involved.
He cannot get involved in that because of protected issues with our water and sewer and irrigation assets on our side. But from the public-facing side of things, we have a very rough draft. When that's ready to be shown, I will work with Ed
Okay.
on
'Cause,
that
I mean, we
side.
know it's a 300-foot pipe. We know it's 36 inches. But now we've refined it down to
Any
put,
data that they're collecting from the field and we want to update into the system, that needs to go to Tetra Tech, not to Passarella.
Okay. I don't think we've got buy-in from PPAC that we're ready to make that leap yet, but let's talk
Well,
about that.
we can talk
Okay.
offline. I just don't want to duplicate efforts and pay
No, I don't
twice.
either, but whatever we do,
Yeah.
whatever's done should be easily electronically transferable.
Yeah, we've already implemented everything from Passarella to Tetra Tech, so updates really should be at the Tetra Tech side of
Is
things.
Austin doing that? Or Tetra Tech, I'm sorry.
Tetra Tech is, yes.
Okay.
Go ahead, Steve.
Just another quick thing. I think Chelsea was alluding to it. We've made an HOA map portal, not ready for, you know, public use yet, but users will be able to access that and get information about their HOA and contact information. That's another tool that we've created. We're also building an overall district infrastructure and asset map, and just currently working with staff through that.
When the map is done, is it envisioned that we're going to have a public application where the public can see?
Yes.
And then the private for the gas lines and all that? So
That's,
you will have that differentiation?
yeah, that's exact. And we have a crude version of it.
There's some security on some of that stuff.
There
Yeah,
is-
that's what we did in Pelican.
Yes.
There's some that the public does not have access to,
Yeah.
gas lines and things like that, electrical, but they do have for all the storm cleaning and things like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're working through that.
Going on.
All right, so that's it for our TAs. Then we've got development updates. I think we were intending it to get on this agenda, but I think it got pushed to the next one, the Grace Community Schools. That's recommended for approval. You guys will see that the next time. Other than that, there's not any real updates regarding the developments. There's some stuff going on in the background with KO Pilon, trying to get them, conforming to our standards with bonding and everything like that. Santa Luz, I think is, I'm not really sure what's going on there. I think that's still in Tony's court. You had a question, Ed?
Not going to bring it up.
Okay.
We can talk offline.
All right, that's it for me. There is one more agenda item for the bid recommendation for the resurfacing in Pelican, so I can hang in the background for that one.
Steve, one question relative to the stuff that you submitted. Who's the author of the document that's 5 pages long that's basically a update of the project?
Oh, okay.
OAK's authored that. Did they put in the percentages?
Yes.
Steve, while I got him in the audience, I see Rick in the back of the room. I know you guys are both teaming it up on both the admin and the park and rec. You guys agree with those percentages?
If it's
Silence
questions
is
to me,
deafening.
I can't respond to that. I'm not deeply involved in this. This would be Eric, but I mean, like Chelsea said, a lot of these are, they go in a sequence. So some of these are going to be zero because they can't start them until the preceding things are completed.
This is driven from their weekly report that they provide. Every 2 weeks, we meet with them. They provide us a Gantt chart. This is produced from their Gantt chart, and they update their schedule every 2 weeks to us. I have since asked for a weekly update to go with them. So this was as of a week ago. So you've seen a lot change in 1 week's time.
Yeah, what I'd like to see, and I'm not, this isn't the way I used to do the projects. We used to have a system to where you could see from the start to the end.
It is. It's a Gantt chart. This is a condensed version of that Gantt chart.
That must be a new word. That wasn't a word when we did it. I can't even remember what the word was.
That was a word even when I was in there 30 years ago.
It was a word years ago when you
Gantt
did
was
that.
normal.
But anyway, the issue was you could see the trail. See that whether you're behind schedule, you're ahead of schedule. This one here doesn't tell me nothing. If I'm at 0%, he can do that work in 1 day. I can be
1
at
hour
0% and take 2 weeks to do the work.
I think
This
this is
doesn't tell
just-
you that.
I have that. I'd be happy to send you the most updated copy, Ed, if you'd like it.
There is.
You're old. What was the name of the old bars, the charts we did, the timelines?
Gantt charts.
Okay,
Yeah.
I hadn't heard that name, but anyway, my concern was one, who put this together and is it real? Is it real? If you
Oaks
guys in
and
Tetra
Israel.
Tech are of the opinion that we are on schedule and we will be done by August 5th. 6th, I'm sorry.
August 5th is substantial. September 5th is final.
Substantial completion and completion means substantial completion means it's fully occupiable and usable. And
We're gonna have
that's-
our meeting there on the
that's my-
7th of August.
That's my date and I'm sticking to it.
Chelsea, can you just confirm, because I can't remember exactly where we landed on this, but with the pickleball and the basketball and those types of things, what has been approved and in scope is fencing, correct?
Talking about for sound?
Uh,
No, just in general, just fencing
Of
Sports
those
courts.
courts,
of the courts.
pickleball is fenced.
Yep.
Padel, because of how it's played, it's in essence fenced.
Basketball is fenced.
Basketball is not
Open?
fenced. It's
Okay.
open.
So fencing where appropriate, is in
Like for
scope.
tennis.
In scope and approved and budgeted. Lighting is
In scope
in
included.
scope, included, approved. Okay.
And a lot of the lighting
Can we,
fixtures are there.
what I'd like to see is a complete lighting plan of, here's the common park area, here's our lighting plan, here's what's approved. I'm sorry?
How timely, Rick. I wonder why.
Okay, and here's what's approved and in scope for phase one. Here's, we're gonna run wire, but we're not gonna put the post in because that's part of phase two, whatever. That's what I'd want to see. What's gonna be lit from a court perspective, what is accent lighting, parking lot lighting, all that kind of stuff.
Here's what my concern is. This is our last meeting for 30 days. The next time we meet, we're gonna be within a sneeze of completion, substantial completion.
Substantially.
Substantial completion. I'm scared.
Well, the sports lightings, if you're playing pickleball, can you light your court and not light up everything? Are there going to be dials?
Usually it's direct.
Because in Pelican, we can light our tennis courts or our pickleball. We don't light everything. You just light where you're playing.
It's directional.
The controls were all part of OAK's responsibility on how, but yes, the padel courts, the basketball, the bocce, all of those have
Be
different.
separate, okay.
Is that,
But there's 12, the public isn't going to have access to this, to go just turn the lights on, but how,
but how are you, can you just walk through that? Because we don't want to light courts
That are not being used.
24/7, 7 days a week
Right.
from dusk
If somebody
to
decides
10
to go out
o'clock
there
at
and play
night.
from
that's
9
just
to
a waste
11,
that's a
on
waste
court
of
5,
electricity.
that's all they should be lighting.
Who's turning the switch on?
People, it's a little
I'm
knob.
gonna give them that authority.
Well, you put a knob in there that has a timer on it. It'll run for 90 minutes or something.
we'll follow up with OAK, because the onus of the install of the lights, we spec'd the lights, and then the control function, they were supposed to iron out, so.
Okay.
Now, it might be coming out of the gate for the first 6 months, we want to light it up because we want to advertise it. And then
And we see the electric bill.
Well, but it could also be a nuisance to the neighbors.
Yeah,
And if
yeah, and then we want to scale it back because we don't want, I mean, if we,
We're already aggravating with the noise. We don't want to blind them too.
Splitting hairs sometimes over at the soccer complex around lighting, so I just want to make sure we're thinking through all these
My
things.
concern was when I went over there, the majority of the things to clean up the building are internal and it's not weather related anymore. Some of the groundwork and site work, which to me are the difference between substantial and full completion, that's one thing. When you go in the building and you can't turn the lights on, that's not substantial completion. On the park part,
We'll have
on the other
flashlights for
hand,
that.
that is so weather related, and we're in a condition now where it rains every damn day almost. That's problematic on the site work that's left to be done in the park portion.
Do we have, water's a big deal, so around our parks, I know we've got some pavilions, whatever, do we have water available?
You mean potable?
Yeah.
Drinking
Bottled
water?
Yeah.
There's drinking fountains at multiple
Is it
locations.
the ones where you can
Yes.
put your water bottle under and it'll shoot down?
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
Spotted potties. I mean, we have bathrooms.
Yeah,
So,
the
okay.
trailhead and the sports courts both
Okay.
have bathrooms, and then we have drinking fountains at both of those. We have a drinking fountain at the playground. I think there's even a drinking fountain. But, yep, so,
Can't wait to see it.
Any vending machines?
yes, we're planning on, but that'll be contracted separately, vending machines.
Any other questions for Steve?
Nope.
We'll pass on him. He'll come back, and we got a couple of items to hit for him.
Yep.
Admin agendas, fiscal year 2027 meeting schedule. Did anybody have any additions, corrections to that, or changes you want to make?
Let's pull it up first. and let
Wait a
you
minute.
look.
We aren't meeting on Christmas Day or any of those silly things, are we?
I don't believe any of the days really go into, like, holidays or really conflict with holidays. You'll notice the December meeting is December 17th. Really, I mean, you can choose to change this at a later date, but for purposes of advertising all of them, we try to do it in one ad and get it out before, next fiscal. So we'd like to start working on that. So as long as you,
Christmas is on a Friday this year.
is it?
I think so, yeah.
Well, 17th and 7 is 24. And if that's a Thursday,
Thursday,
I think you should, I think a lot of people be leaving town. I think we should eliminate 12/17.
Be the last meeting of the year.
Oh, it's a week before.
That's a week before.
If you leave a week before, you won't leave till the 19th or 20th, Carol. We can revisit it when we get closer, but that's pretty far away.
Yeah, we can see what it looks like.
I might not be here.
Because otherwise, you don't go from December 3rd until,
So right now, what
Till the
you're
new
looking
year.
at
No,
is this
you've
is
got a meeting on the 7th,
This is a
January
suggestion.
7th.
until the next year, right?
So like I said, we're just hoping to get this, you guys are okay with this schedule? You can always cancel it later, but
Flavia
for
might even be
purposes of
back.
advertising,
What?
Flavia might even be back.
It's cheaper and easier to put it in one ad now. 'Cause
Yeah,
later on, you
than
have to pay
multiple
for a
ads.
new ad, which is about 300 some odd dollars.
But at this point, there's nothing obvious in there that looks like holidays or anything that's
No.
going to be
no.
hit us. Okay, okay.
We do have an address for the building, 11137 Gateway Boulevard, so.
Well, where it depends where it's located, it could
Oh,
be about 5 different addresses.
There might be a typo there, hold on.
What?
No, it is
11137?
11137.
It
Gateway
is
Boulevard?
11137 Gateway Boulevard. That
Okay.
is,
It's official. If you go to the post office site and look it up, it actually will come up. It's available.
11137.
It's
You
right on
even
the
got that
page
on
here,
here.
11137.
What happened to 1111111?
that's further up the road.
Okay, moving on. Award consideration, we got Pelican Reserve
Okay,
roadways.
so nobody wants to cancel that Christmas thing?
I don't want to cancel.
Right now.
Okay, all right.
So if you're good with the dates,
Bob's adding up the number of units to get to the 24.
Well, I
No, we
may-
get,
I may
Laura
not
takes
be
care of
here,
that
but,
for
you
us.
know.
We have enough specialty. Yeah, well,
So
she
if-
takes care of that.
Laura's got a challenge in making that happen.
I want Tony to get us an increase.
so
Talk to your legislator.
the action with this is we're looking for your blessing on 12A, the schedule, so we can prep the ad, the legal ad.
I make a motion, we accept it.
Accept it as is,
As
and
is.
subject to change at that
I'll
time.
second.
Second, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Okay,
you.
thank you.
Aye.
We have an award of road resurfacing over at Pelican Preserve.
Right.
Looked to me like, boy, you guys did a hell of a job getting some bids in and
Yep.
some
And I'll
good
make a
bids.
motion, we accept it, the low bid.
Low bid from, what is that, Collier Paving, or is, I think they go to
From the
by a
Pelican
different
Reserve.
name. It's
We have
Advisory
received that anti-human trafficking affidavit. We are in receipt of that document. So all of the conditions have
was
been
that?
met.
I'll second
It was
that.
just the page that they missed in the
federal thing.
bid. They were the only ones that didn't turn it in.
Was it a federal
The
requirement?
state started requiring, the
Yeah,
state
but
started
we have
requiring
it.
that last year.
We have it.
So the issue is to award the contract to Southern Striping Solutions as the
Yep.
most, Tony?
Most responsive, qualified, competent, that are most advantageous to the district.
That's the one.
That's the
I
your
think
motion?
That's the motion.
language is in the,
Yeah, second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
That $394,000 is a good number. That's a really good
We were
number.
looking for something closer to like 800,000 or 900,000, so we were thrilled with that.
I don't know that you had any bids that
And
high.
in addition to that, it also covers all the striping.
Going to be 800 and something.
We're striping
Keep
the
in
entire
mind, oil
community.
was crazy this last 3 months, just
Yep.
crazy. So
All right,
that makes me feel good because I've got about $800,000 of bid going out on roads right now. This makes me feel real good. Okay, going on. Request to amend the agreement for amendment of approval of North Haven. Oh, this is extension.
so if I can.
Amend the
ju-
amendment?
If I could just explain this agenda item. So if you recall, we approved the private development North Haven a couple years ago. The developer, Mark Ambach at the time, Blake, his son, is here, and the engineer of record, Rick Berlansky, is here if you have any questions. But if you recall, the developer had come in and requested, because we require a bond to be held on file. The developer said, hey, I'm not ready to build yet. Can I ask for a waiver of this bond? That way I don't have to pay for you every year to hold on file. You agreed. We did this amendment of approval and agreement, basically saying, hey, you don't have to hold this, we're not going to hold this bond on file. But we put in there a time and date certain because we didn't say it was in perpetuity. That agreement has since, it's coming to an end. They're asking for an extension for an additional year, I believe. And like I said, the engineer of record and the owner's son are here if you have any questions, but staff is recommending approval for an additional year.
Where is this one again?
This is up here on North Haven on the road just before you get to Stony
flowway.
Brook, just past Hidden Links.
Okay, yeah, that little section, right?
I make a motion that we honor the request for the additional year.
I would second that motion. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Thanks for coming.
Dog park, Rick, if you've got a second, you might want to stick around just for this, for the dog parks. I got a question for you on this
We
one.
haven't warned him of this, so you're, and
That sounded like it was plural or possessive.
Rick is used to.
Some of us may have warned him.
Rick is good on it. Rick is good on his feet.
Well, we need them flexible. We could reconsider item C.
The issue is, and what we're talking about is item D, the dog park relocation, and we talked about it earlier. The committee came back and essentially said the three options. Option one, move to the common park. Option two is go to the fun park. Option three is dump it. I'm certainly not in favor of that. I'm hearing over in my neighborhood, option two is not really friendly received. I think those people want to just see that be green grass for the next 50 years. But we put it in the common park. It's been a part of the common park from the whole deal. My whole concern is what would we have to spend in the way of money? Chelsea ran off a drawing that, I don't know, is this,
it's on a civil set.
this one here?
Yeah.
This is the part, this is the one, what I'm trying to get to is that if we go with this, we don't have a real good picture, I don't have a real good picture in my mind that if we build this, we've always talked about it being
in here?
remote,
Okay.
over in a corner, back there at the back. Yeah, there you go. How do we, right now, is that parking lot that's showing there under the word restrooms, is that line, is that the limit of the parking lot being built such that the only thing that we have to build to facilitate a dog park going in that location where you got highlighted in yellow is to construct just a portion of that little path to get over past that building that'll never be built to the parking lot? Is
What
that
building
all
that'll
it
never
is?
be built?
So the,
That
can I have the mouse?
gymnasium.
All right. So if I could,
Down the road.
if I could answer the question.
Sure.
So as of right now, this, not this section. It's not letting me highlight here. Draw, nope, maybe, here we go.
This drawing implies that we have 4 lanes of parking. My question is 4 lanes being built?
If you could let me finish. This section is on future phases of the commons, okay?
So just one wing?
So this, all of this, can you see my cursor?
Yep.
All of this is part of what is being constructed out there.
So we got another
There's-
50 feet of sidewalk.
You would
To
have,
connect it.
well, there's already a sidewalk that's going to be connecting through here. So your only connection piece is what I sent you. I did not send that to the entire board.
Yeah.
Is this trailhead is over here.
Yeah.
So we would just do a small tie-in. Yep, we do a small sidewalk tie-in and put the fencing of this dog park, which the policy that I need, all I need, I don't need you to design it or engineer it, that's what we have Rick for, is the policy stance of, is it gonna go here or not? Or is it gonna go elsewhere, or is it gonna be sunset? We will figure out the details.
Is the proposal to have a large dog park and a small?
Yes.
Or just one? Okay, thank you.
Confirm, so this sidewalk here, is that
Future phasing.
the future phase? So what actual sidewalk there will be is what?
So this trailhead is constructed.
Yeah.
So if Ed can hold,
Show the route of that deal.
I don't have that, because this went out a week ago.
Yeah, yeah.
If that can be
There's
passed
the deal.
around,
It
we'll
just come over here
incorporate
and
that
tie to
into the public record. But that trailhead is what is being constructed, so it's a small section of sidewalk that would go from the trailhead here to what would be whatever Rick designs for the dog park.
So for the whole thing, you're talking 50 to 100 feet perhaps, if that.
If that for sidewalk.
Is that from the parking lot all the way there?
here.
Well, the parking lot will already have a
trail is being
trailhead or
constructed.
have a path to get
To
to
the
the
trailhead, okay.
trailhead. We only have to
Okay.
coordinate the trailhead
Got it.
to the dog park.
Okay.
I'd much rather
Walk
see
along the
that and
sidewalk
tie
here.
this, if we're gonna make this a park, let's make it a park. It ties it together. People that would then want to take their dog that's been roaming wild and put him on a leash, they can go down the FPL easement and wear him out.
I was not a big fan of this originally, but the more I've looked at it and thought about it, it does a couple things. One, it centralizes another amenity in a common area where we want to bring more people.
Right.
More people we can get here, the better. Two, it's not a bad idea to take your dog, park in the parking lot, go to the dog park, and then hop on the trail, the linear park, walk up and down, or even
Right,
take the
right,
linear
right.
park to the dog park. So to me, it makes perfect sense. And I do agree that, the fun park is, something to do with it would be the dog park, but we're going to get resistance. So I think the best thing to do is to sunset the fun park in its entirety until some point in the future where we have a good
If
decision.
somebody comes back with something that will
Yeah,
fly.
that will fly.
Yeah, I agree. We had put, as I recall, 150,000 in the bond, as I recall last meeting, 150,000?
Yes.
What do we need to do, Rick, to come back and just know that 150,000 will do this?
It is not a Rick answer. It's a Chelsea answer.
It's a Chelsea answer.
It's a Chelsea answer. Thank
You'll
you.
get an engineering license.
I don't have an engineering license, but it doesn't take an engineer to be a project manager.
Big paddle ball.
He's charging us for every question you ask him.
Okay. That's the way I always did.
You set the policy.
We got bocce.
All
paddle,
this
and
would
pickle.
take is a fence
And
permit.
basketball.
It's already in the development order. So I could either go one of two ways, add it to change order OAK's contract and add it to their contract and have them put it in. So it would require fencing. We already have internet coming to the site. We already have power coming to the site. We would just have to make sure power gets to this
I'd just like
location.
to see the first step. First step is to see the plan that the cost to do the job is within our budget.
So
That's the big one.
I can tell you, yes, it is.
Well, if you're confident of that, then why wouldn't we go to the second step of preparing the plan to determine then just how we and when we build it?
So again, you set the policy, I'll put together the plan.
And the other thing that I just think we need to just keep an eye on is, I think what's going to make this park truly functional is going to be these walking paths. So if we don't build any additional structures, the next thing to be thinking about is where we have these sidewalks. That is a pivotal component of the parks, and I don't know what the linear feet is on the sidewalks that we have in place or what that cost is, but it's something we need to be thinking about.
That's something that I'd throw back to PrAC and let them determine when and how we do that.
Yeah.
I've thought about this park deal. I'm catching hell for the fun park of putting the dogs
Yeah,
over
let's
there.
just-
And I don't think eliminating them is an answer.
So-
But you hit the nail on the head on the funding and the financing. I think we've got that deferred until we figure out what we're doing. But I'd like to see going the next step.
Can I chime in real quick? So Carol and I had a lengthy conversation about this,
Yeah.
and we have 99 park passes, 77 dog park passes, 77, Carol asked me to research it, 77 residents, 22 non. To your point earlier with the fee schedule, you've said you don't want to charge residents. We're going to make this as an amenity. That's in court, that's, just being part of a Gateway resident. Policy. Staff recommendation, if you continue, what I would suggest is if you continue, there's a lot of things going on, right? There's a lot of factors moving into this. We have the parking lot, we have the timing of the opening of the complex. All I need from you is a policy on where, if at all, you want to put this dog park. We will work on the logistics of the things and come back to you. Ideally, we'd want to get it in tandem with the opening in 3 months from now. But until we can
30 days.
work on the logistics.
I don't have any problem. I would make a motion that we carry out what we had originally set up in creating a park master plan. This is part of it. we have gotten into the problem where we really have no place to go. We either can this thing, or we take and tick off a lot of people by going to the fun park. My thing is, let's just go with this. If we got it in the budget, 150,000, you're assured that the money is there, that we'll do that. I think what we do is take the next step to come up with whatever plans we need to do to get pricing in the form of a change order or whatever that form takes, to authorize the work to be done.
In the
I'll second that.
specified location that's identified
On this map.
in the master
Yep.
plan.
I accept that.
Okay, one more question. The gated security, we're going to have that all the way down here at the bottom where it says gated security.
Yes,
There will be,
vehicular gated security.
so you would have to be a resident of the district to enter this common, this park.
It is vehicular gated security
Yes.
as of right now. This entire complex is not.
Walk in.
It's, you could walk in.
I think the question
You-
is,
walk in.
when you say gated security, what does that mean? Is it
For
you have to have
vehicles?
a fob to get in, or it's only locked down after hours?
Well, what I was getting to was, do we want to only have resident use of the dog park and not have any fee for non-residents, that this is the Commons Park for the district people, therefore, if you live in Gateway, you can use the park. If you don't live in Gateway, you can't come in the park.
My
in the dog
recommendation would
park.
be, at least for the first year, that all amenities on this location, including the dog park, the pool, all the new facilities, are Gateway residents only, and we could talk about what a guest might look like, but we do not allow non-resident, we don't offer non-resident access, at least for the first year, until we kind of figure out what
Since
the
the
volume's gonna
majority
be.
of your users
I have a
are
question.
residents.
I'm
like-
all for that, because do you have any problem with that?
Also, I have to look at the bonds. Are they tax exempt bonds that we issued?
We'll have to go back and look at
Yeah, we
that.
need to double check
I
that.
totally agree with what he says
If
on
we,
this
if they
first
are,
deal. I like that
then we have
idea.
issues with that. We can charge rate differential, then we get back to the whole issue.
But the one thing you've got on this picture, Chelsea, is
I
you've
have
got
two
a
questions.
sliding gate, aluminum fencing along the property line that comes into this park. What allows people to go through that deal? Is that going to be a swing gate or just, is,
Again, it hasn't been designed. This was just, that was etched in from early on, so we would have to
we
work
use the
through.
terminology security gate. That's.
Yeah,
Controlled
well,
access.
we need to walk through that, but if you look at the structure of this park, the only reasonable entry point is, at least from a vehicle, is gonna be through that front entrance. Now, you can get into it, but there's a pond on one side, there's the FP&L area in the back, so, you know,
There's other
even
entry
to
points.
walk through there, you're gonna have
Not
to go
with the
around your
vehicle,
able.
not with the vehicle.
Or you have to come through Hampton Park. So I don't think we're gonna have to worry about people coming through the hedges using it. I just don't think that's gonna be a
and if
problem.
you
It's
were-
not like the soccer park here, where you can drive up and all you gotta do is either hop the fence or just walk onto it.
Well, and if you recall, as part of that $6 million capital bond that we're contemplating, you voted to put fencing along this frontage.
That's where
Yeah.
you need it.
But that would, instead of gated security, it ought to have vehicle controlled access.
Well, this was done a year and a half, this was done 2 years ago. So
Yeah, we'll have to see where we go with that. But right now, we have a motion and a second on the floor to go on ahead and proceed with the dog park at the location located.
I think Flavia tried to chime in.
Yeah, Flavia, do you have something?
Yeah, it was a question to Doug, actually. So you want the commons area for the first year or so to be used only by Gateway residents? Is that what I heard?
That's what I'd like for the first year.
I
Now,
think you said Gateway, I think you said Gateway residents and guests.
Well, Gateway residents, and then we'll have
Because
to,
here's,
we'll have to come up with a guest
because,
policy.
I think you mean district
well, my
residents.
question is, didn't we just approve? Yeah, my
Not
question
just
is, didn't we
Gateway.
just
No, it's
approve?
just district, yeah.
District residents.
We're all one gateway.
Okay, I got that. So we're no longer going to sell memberships for non-residents to
imagine.
use? Is that what you mean, Doug?
Yes, that's what I would propose, at least for
Because
the
we just
first year.
approved a fee schedule, and I believe there were two things in there that were in the comments, like the pool. So we just
Well,
approved something at the public hearing, right? I just want to make sure, like,
So what are you saying? We have an exception already?
That's, so, okay. I hear you, Flavia.
I'm saying that
We don't-
I'm saying that that's a vision, and I get it, but here we are etching out an opportunity to bring revenue to offset our expenses.
Can we do this as a happy medium? Can we do and apply what you just said for the dog park at this time, subject to changing it, to expanding it to include others?
That's tough, because once you allow people in, if you say you can come in and use the dog park, what's to stop someone to say, well, I'm
gonna go from the pool to the dog
I'm just
park,
walking around or whatever. So, I mean, my point is, yes,
I
there's gonna be
agree with
revenue
that.
opportunity, but I think for the investment that we're making, the first step should be to make sure that these amenities are available for our residents, and that we can monitor it at least for the first year, and then we can open it up.
Or a time earlier if we.
Yeah, or whatever. I don't think, I just don't want to do it out of the gate. I think you can have guests, let's say for pickleball or some of the other stuff. The dog park, you can't do one and not the other. Either you have to have, basically a commons pass to be able to use all the amenities, and it's X amount. I don't think you can just say this is just for the dog park or this is just for pickleball usage. I think you're gonna have to get a Gateway Parks and Rec pass, and it's $500 annually, and you can use any of
We're
the
working on it.
stuff. I don't think you can pick and choose.
So we're,
They're already paying for it on their taxes. Why
No,
would
not
they-
residents, non-residents. It's just non-residents.
But you didn't say that.
No, well,
You said Gateway,
I meant for any
a
non-district
district
resident. Yeah,
Right.
correct.
Like a guest.
Yeah, you can have a guest, and we'll have a fee structure for that, but if you're just coming, it's not like the dog park is today, where I can pay an extra X amount, I can come here and bring my dog anytime I want.
Or
It'll be a little different.
like what I have heard already of our neighbors here to the east at Timber Creek. Boy, we can't wait till you get that park done. Yeah,
Okay, I don't
I don't know
understand
what
the
that
comment.
means
Ed.
either.
the issue is that build it and they will come, but it's not our people that are coming, it's the neighbors next door in another CDD.
Oh.
Oh,
I thought Silver
I'm
Creek.
sorry, Timber
part
Creek
of-
is next
okay.
door, yeah. So
Okay.
the issue is, I like Doug's thing, is we do it this way, start that way, have it for guests, but for anybody else, we can always make the decision to incorporate it in.
Timber
Let's-
Creek, keep
let's-
out.
Let's walk.
okay,
walk
so we've
first.
kind of veered off the path. I think there's a motion and a second
Yeah,
on the
motion and a
table.
The dog
second, at
park.
least for the dog park, to implement it as discussed at the
Sure.
location.
No, all she wants to know is, where do you want to put it?
Where it's
Where it's
designed.
shown.
Yeah.
Okay, so the motion should be that it's going to be located in the commons,
As shown.
as shown.
Yeah, according to the
There's a
master
motion and a
plan.
second, the discussion is over, all in favor say aye.
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 That was easy.
Thank you,
we will
Where are we
work
at?
towards making that operational.
and thanks for putting all that together. I think Prac did a good job on that one, because it was an eye-opener when I read it, that basically you got three choices. And when you sit and think about it, there are only about three choices. That's what I was going to ask you, Rick, is she short sheeted me here, but I want to make sure that we have the money to do it.
Yep, we'll work on it.
Okay,
Thanks, Rick.
now,
Send me a bill for that later.
budget discussion.
And we've got you've gotten the grass taken care of in that area leading into it.
We're at, this is all the logistics I've got to work through.
Okay, we have before us version 4. Have we ever made it? I guess last year we made 4.
Last year was version 4 was what was
There was
approved.
like
I
7
checked.
or 8 a couple of years ago, but.
Oh, there was like 10 or 11 the year
10 or
before.
11.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Okay, we have version 4 in front of us. Is this,
Yes.
any changes, Chelsea or Laura?
The
you're
only thing
suggesting?
that this is the same exact budget that you guys approved during your meeting, your last meeting. So this is the official approved version. There are a couple of pending changes from PPAC. They've made some suggestions. I need to come back to them at their next meeting with some playing with some of the numbers for reserves and things like that, but there are no, that's the only thing that they're so far going to change possibly in their budget. But other than that,
Or moving things from one line item to another line item.
yeah, they were talking about
But the
taking
total
out
would
the.
not change.
Correct. Well, it might go down. I'm not sure.
Oh, okay,
So,
yes.
underneath the safety and security, or ponds, sorry, the waterway management for Pelican, they are, not going to do that big pond next year. They wanted, so that $650,000 that they had in that line is gonna come off. But they are looking at either putting 300, 400, or 500,000 into their reserve to do it in 28, and I need to come back to them with those numbers. Another change that they made is that they want to assess the $149,000 of the Parks and Rec stuff. They do not want to offset that with alternate financing. They do want to assess that. That was flat out, they're
Whatever
going to
that
do
share
that.
is.
No, that's their share is the 149,000.
Well, it is this year, but whatever
Yeah,
it is.
it'll be, yeah, so for
Whatever the Parks
the
and
capital
Rec share
expenses for
is.
Parks and Rec for fiscal '27, their share for Pelican is like $149,100. They want to assess it.
So this is the final version of the budget that goes to the public hearing? in
You got
August?
3 meetings before then to change it. This
Okay.
is the high water mark that kicks off. This is the
That
amount
is
that'll
the
be in the
high water.
letter.
Okay.
This is the high water mark. When Steven sends out the letters next month, these are the figures that will be in that letter.
From here, we only go down.
Correct.
Okay. Any
So
discussion?
other than, you asked me a question, other than the P-PAC changes, we have not implemented any additional changes.
And
Correct.
she had made a change last time
That's in
about
here.
the 120,000 or whatever it was.
That's in here.
That's in
Yep,
here.
yep.
Okay, okay.
Hey, do we really want to have, just kind of general, do we really want to have a reduction in cost?
Pelican?
No, Pelican, we finagled it to put it at 3%. If we truly tried to get to zero, it would be a reduction.
Yeah, we do not want a negative number.
Well, that's what I'm saying over here. Do you
You
really
can't
want a
change
negative
it.
number?
That's where it is.
That's
You
where it
can't
is.
go up.
Yeah, there's nothing we can do.
Well, you mean we're already, this is the high water, we can't go up?
We're at the high water mark with a
Flavia, we
negative
can hear
number.
you.
We're at the high water mark with a negative number.
Who would have thought that?
I muted you. Flavia, I had to mute you.
Wow. Okay.
And Stephen, and everybody's done their thing.
Pelican
Yes.
did it.
These-
Russ
these
has
numbers-
checked
we
out,
provided.
Russ and I
No.
met and spent a half an hour going through the allocations on the
well.
back end to make sure that the numbers that go to the tax collector will be appropriately allocated.
reserves up or something.
Stephen checked it over during the meeting and he looked at it again today before I came in here and everything is fine, so. I can say the reason why this ended up at the -1% was the bonds, because you decided to take that alternate funding
Take it off,
and do that and offset that with the bonds. That's what got this down, because this was considerably higher without that. That was the big change, because that was a big chunk of money.
Expect this again next year, keep
Why
reducing.
why we want to look for bad news.
No, it's not
been
bad
done
news,
right and it's-
but why
it looks
make
good.
it, why make it a minus when you can make it zero, maybe bolster reserves? That was my only point.
We don't-
But we
Good
did
now.
put money in reserves.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, but I
every-
mean, put enough in reserves to get it to zero.
But you can't change it now, it can't go up.
I
so.
hear you, I hear you.
Okay.
It's a little oversight. I
In-
mean,
in-
it's a good problem to have, I
Well,
guess.
we were
I mean, it's $9.28 less than last
we
year,
were
so.
tweaking 3% and 2% last meeting, but maybe we tweaked too much, so. Anyway, at least
Too
we,
good of a job.
to the owners, they'll be happy that we tweaked to this side. So any motions necessary at this point in time? Tony, anything you need?
So would you like to go through any of the budget? Or, I mean,
I'm fine with it.
I'm good with
I will
it.
bring back to you at your July meeting, because PPAC has theirs the week before. I'll play with the numbers and I'll bring back a version. Well, because they don't have to firm it up until their August meeting, so they want to still have some more discussion. So I'll bring back a version with the numbers they're playing with for next time. We will have safety and security next week. Ponds will also meet August. They just met. So they'll meet again before the public hearing. So PPAC has 2 meetings before your public hearing. Safety and security has 2 meetings before your public hearing. Ponds has 1. Landscape is off for the summer. Prac is off for the summer.
Go down,
So,
though.
but they can only go down. They understand that. Yes.
The question that I'm sure somebody's going to ask is that the people get all upset with the yo-yo your rates up here, your rates down here, rates up here, rate down here. Do we see anything that's in 2027 that's going to be a shock that they're going to be getting? We know one thing that we've got that we're going to learn real quick like, and that is the operation and maintenance costs for that park. That's going to be an eye-opener, or it could be an eye-opener, security, those type of things. But I don't see those being big picture items to swing this big time. Do we have anything that staff sees that's on the horizon that is facing us that's going to be a big ticket item next year?
But not for 27, it'd be for 28.
For
I'm sorry,
28.
You're
Yeah,
right.
the only thing that will be for 28 is the debt service, because the bonds, that'll be the first
put those
year.
trigger in.
For the bonds will be in 28, but keep in mind, we will also have paid down on the 23, we will have paid down on the ponds, so but that would really, that's gonna be the biggest change. And the fact that the 2023 bonds were $13 million and the 2026 bonds will only be $6 million. So in reality, Pelican won't be affected because they're not going to have it. It'll only be on the Gateway side. So it should roughly be about half, if you're being conservative, of what they're paying now. Because with the interest rate being a little higher, but the cost, we're taking out less bonds, so roughly it'll be about half of what we're paying now.
I don't want to
so.
look for
But
trouble,
not
but
a
I'm just
huge
trying to
swing.
second guess what could happen. And the only thing I can think of is security and the operation costs of that
We
park.
have that in the
Everything else
budget
is
now, so.
Well, and also, Ed, in 28, I think we talked before, we didn't make any motions or anything, but that once the administrative building and the park is open, we should probably just let it run for a year or so before you think about changing anything or adding anything or whatever. Let's see how it goes and what people are using, what they're not using, whatever.
Tweak it then.
So I think in 28, we should just let it sit, in essence. You can work on other things, but let the park sit and tell us back what, if anything, is needed in 29 and 30 and whatever.
The only surprise, what potentially could be surprises, but we have plans in place, Plan Bs in place, is if the federal government finally releases all of the grant monies. And so on the utility projects, we have SRF funds available. On the pond projects, we have SRF funds. We're planning on asking for all, like the pond projects, the 21 ponds, anticipating that HMGP.
You're talking about match money.
The match money, that is the only thing that could be a surprise if it all comes at one time.
That would be
surprise.
positive. That'd be positive.
That'd be a
But
pleasant
you
surprise.
asked if there would be a surprise, and that would be a surprise.
Laura, I have a question. What I'm looking at on this chart still has the Pelican Reserve Golf going up 78,000. Is that,
But that's high
hasn't
water
factored
mark.
into the,
Where, if you're, what I mentioned before about the 650,000.
That hasn't in here.
No, because this is the high water mark.
Okay.
So that's what I'll be bringing to you
all right, great,
after
that's all.
today.
That's
Yes.
kind of what I thought,
And
but I
that could
wanted
go
to,
down then.
yes.
I ran some numbers with Doug, and depending on what they do with it, it could get down as low as somewhere between 9,000 to 19,000, depending on what they do
Okay,
with
that's
it.
much
So,
more palatable.
Yeah, and that was why we were playing with the numbers, and that's why I need to bring that back to P-PAC. So we're working on getting that down.
Any other items on the budget?
Nope.
So is there, because I really don't like surprises myself, and we're getting ready to take a month off. So if there are any items that you want us to research further or drill down on, I would appreciate those be brought up now. That way we have the time to research
Not
those.
unless you see something I don't.
No.
I want to hear what P-PAC and they want to do, and as long as Laura's willing to adjust here and there, as long as it doesn't go higher,
Yeah, I can't.
then I'm willing to go with whatever they want.
They're mostly looking at playing with the reserve amount to see what's the most they can put in to not have it be a large increase overall for the single-family and multifamily homes, but yet give some relief to the golf course and the commercial stuff. So that's what their target is.
Yeah, the biggest thing they're doing is by banking the money before they fix Pond 21. They're banking 27's money so they don't have to borrow from reserves and then do it in 28.
Yeah.
And they got plenty of time. The pond's not
Yep.
in that terrible shape.
Yep.
That was a good decision.
There was a lot of discussion about that,
Yep.
yes.
Let's see what happens. see what happens. It's a hell of a lot better than going into a high water mark meeting when you're at
7-8
when you're at
increase.
10% that we've had before. Okay, no, moving on. Monthly reports.
All right, anything for Laura?
I don't have anything.
Yeah, you get to rest a little bit, I think, now.
Thank you.
No, hearing none under admin. Anything for Public Works?
I don't know if this one I've got's Public Works or, I think it's probably more enterprise, but I'm catching hell in the community, and I know we have to do it, but those signs that have the warnings and the notices for.
Oh, yeah, we had a lot of that,
Those
too.
are the ugliest looking. We've got them sticking in a barrel. Let's take them out and put them in the back 40 to where they're out there, but only seen by the four-legged creatures.
Everybody's calling. What is that for?
We have-
Everybody in my community think they just looks like crap, and they do. They're right on the main street intersection in a barrel. When are those things going to be done?
When we're out of your community.
I had figured that was the answer.
We have to because of the federal dollar, the
But
SRF
relocate
funding.
them to a different location.
Put them all on the golf course.
No, it's
We'll-
gonna put them
we'll
all
con-
out, put them all out at one of the back entrances.
We'll contemplate that. Let us make sure we got through our inspection
It
first,
says.
okay? But they do have to be on the job
I
site.
know that, I know that. Usually you're on a job site at a construction site where you have a billboard, but we don't have that. so.
Because it's mobile.
Then the
yeah.
other one I had that's along that same line, I talked to you about it, I don't know if I've talked to Billy, but our fire hydrants are in horribly looking condition. They need paint, well, they need to be brushed and they need to be painted. And fire hydrants have, I believe a certain kind of paint and certainly a color that they have to be. What can we do to start getting out and delineating areas by, Gateway Greens is the oldest. Our fire hydrants are probably 40 years old. They need it bad. They're rusting. What do we need to do to get out and get a painting program started to start cleaning fire
Money.
hydrants? What's Flavia?
I said money. No, I'm just kidding. But on that list, I did meet, I think Chelsea was with me. There is one resident, I believe is in Pinecrest. So Chelsea that has requested painting of the fire hydrant across from his home or near his house, because he did mention the same thing. So a resident did approach us and also, made us aware of it. It does need painting.
So.
I remember when Kenny was here, he instituted a program around our fire hydrants where they were exercised and there were some things that were happening. I can't remember
talking
if
that.
painting or replacement was
So,
part of that policy.
If I could explain real quick. So the painting is cosmetic.
Oh, no doubt about it.
We are focusing our efforts right now on launching the meter project. As soon as that meter project is done, we will focus our efforts on the painting. We do have all of our hydrants in cartograph. We do exercise them. Do we address the cosmetic portion of them? No, but we will, once this new metering system is in place, we'll have 3 meter readers that will have hopefully plenty of time on their hands that they're not
And paint them
replacing.
fun colors.
Is this
We
something-
cannot. They have to be a
They
certain color.
Yeah, there's certain colors.
They have to be a certain
I
color.
thought some cities were doing it.
They're on
They're like
ratings.
clowns and stuff.
Yeah, they're on ratings.
We're going to put together a 5-year plan where that will
By
just
age
be a
of, by age
redundant,
of hydrants, yeah.
that'll be a redundant cycle.
Yep.
Then, and so every 5
But we
years.
can put that out that that's underway. Okay.
But right now our efforts are focused on getting the box project is wrapping up. It's still happening. We have the meter project that they're doing over 300 meters a day they're installing.
They're just shy of 40% done
We have
today,
to keep up
so,
with them.
yeah.
So our limited staff is focusing our efforts on
Wow.
that, but
Is there any-
They're flying.
they are flying through it.
is there any,
All the hard work was done. All they're doing is coming in, pulling it out, putting it in, and it's done.
For the most
Well,
part.
that's why they're doing 300 plus meters per day.
Okay, we're having a public hearing tomorrow.
Public meeting, not a public hearing.
The
Public,
difference, 10 to 11 o'clock,
public meeting.
meeting. It'll be a hearing.
I wasn't invited.
You've got a copy.
You were in phase 1.
Oh, I
Oh,
was,
you were in phase one.
She doesn't-
Anyway, my,
Oh,
We
yeah,
don't service her.
yeah.
She's in
my-
Fort
my-
Myers.
My point is, the reason I'm bringing it up is that, one, in my community, we've got still quite a few people that have not been transferred over.
Correct.
Simply because of the trees.
Yes.
The difficult ones. And irrigation meters. They've been laying around for 4 months.
Yep.
We'll go get those done. The big thing is that the episode we had at Hidden Links, how are we going to handle?
Santa Luz.
I'm sorry?
Santa Luz you talking about? or-
Hidden Links.
Hidden Links.
Santa Luz also, but
Brassy,
Hidden Links
Brassy.
is more
Oh,
catastrophic.
yeah.
When we go in and they're going to come in, because this needs to be come out tomorrow, because I'm going to make sure that everybody in Gateway Green knows it. When they come out, obviously the water has got to be shut off for the time it takes to unbuckle it, take it out, put the new one in. That's not the problem. The problem is, what are we going to do in the way of testing? Because 50% of our community is gone and they've shut their water off. So how are we going to test that line if the water is off?
If that, Ed, we have the
We're
contractor.
going to do that so that I want to make sure the owner, especially in condos, and especially in condos like we have at Hidden Lakes, where you have 1 meter, 1 shut off, and then you have 4 shut offs at each of the units.
On the 1.5 and 2 meters that go to multifamily, the potable waters have a bypass allocated on them. So that will be engaged, so water shouldn't shut down to the unit for the time that they're changing the meter.
Well, my question is, Billy, do you have to turn their water on at the unit to check the installation?
So if it's possible, that's ideal, but they could flush from a backflow device if
What I'm trying to
necessary.
worry about is if somebody that's up north in Canada or wherever, they've got their meter off and we go in and turn it on to test it. Does the guys that's doing this know you got to turn it back off?
Yes,
They know that.
yes.
Contractor has a process in place that they follow and they document to a T.
And then the same thing for houses. Everybody, I got 5 houses in a row on my street. They're all gone. They're all, almost all of them. In fact, I think they all do. They shut their water off. How are we going to handle those? We're going to go put their meter in. Are we going to go up to their house? Because there's nobody there. Are we going to go up to the house and turn that on to do the test?
No.
So if they are not
If they're
present,
not there and the valve is off, it's going to be noted in the work order system
that's the way to do it.
that there was a non-flush. I will get that report if I get a call when people come back and they say, I have air in my lines. First thing I'll do is look that report up, get their address, and then I'll work with them to
What I was
flush
going
the
to
air
do
out
in
of their
advance
lines.
is indicate, if you do that, that is the risk you run, is you get air in the line. It's not the end of the world, but when you come back, you're going to get the reality that no ticking, no laundry, no water comes through if it's blocked.
Correct.
Okay. So as long as we tell everybody that, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay.
And hope to heck that they get all these missing meters. Do we have an inventory of how many meters are left yet, the brass to be done?
Yes.
Do you have a ballpark where are we at?
We're about a month out, a little over a month out, and they'll be done. A lot of it's timeliness of,
The installation of the meters will almost catch them.
they're gonna catch them,
They're going to.
Going to be right on their heels.
yes.
Yes.
So, and it designed this way, but also because we're transitioning from threaded
Threaded to flanged.
we have to wait for the new meters to come in to do some change outs. So
In the commercial area, we have a specific section where we have some threaded meters that are going to change to flanged. So we have to coordinate that between the two vendors.
in the
As well.
interim, we have bills that are coming out, so Leslie needs some breathing room. So we're working through all of this.
Then the last one, and this one is back to Gateway Greens. Maybe you guys do it and haven't ran into it. I'm having a hard time understanding why, like today, I had a meter reading, one of my 53 came up with a negative $72. Is that an estimate that we did that caused that?
Call the office and we'll look at your address specifically. It could be a slew of things. It could be your deposit
Well,
was
I
applied.
had about like 5, at the last meeting, I had 5 negative bills.
Your deposit could have hit. We could have, and applied your deposit to that. You got to call because each account's different.
Yeah, Leslie or Vicky will have that.
When might the metering project be done then? It sounds like this year yet?
Oh, yes. Oh,
This
yeah.
calendar
But
year?
this fiscal year.
60, 90 days.
Could it be done before we get in the administrative building? I'm sorry.
No.
Probably not. Oh, Carol.
That was a debated question if I ever heard one.
Carol, they're holding back 1 meter for the administration building.
Ah, yeah.
The meter to the admin building won't be put in.
Ed, how do you respond to the guy
I already have
complaining
that one.
that he got a minus bill? Did you offer to pay it for him?
Those were the 3 questions I had on,
Anybody have anything for Public Works?
maybe for everybody. I don't know where I saw this, but it spooked me the other day. Lightning. What are we doing on the new park relative to lightning arresters or lightning warnings?
Okay, so I actually have this written down too. I'd like for us to, I sent you, I think, the Thor system, which is what Collier County is shifted to. I think we should, I know we have lightning indicators.
Crack
here.
looked into it
Yeah. So you guys have looked into Thor? Okay.
and strongly rejected it because of the cost. There already is a lightning detection system at the pool.
That was my question. Are we going to have a device that's at the park that if we have lightning in
Similar
the
to
area?
what we have here, yes.
There's already one
like
at the
a horn
pool.
or something?
Put it to Gateway Green.
The horn is already at the pool. I was on site yesterday and it went off. So I heard it at the back end behind.
Do we have a,
app.
yeah.
Alerts get sent out via email and text
I
and.
know we have one. I think I have the one here. I didn't realize it was one.
It's tied in.
On my cell phone, I get alerts all the time when there's lightning.
What's strange,
Lightning in the area.
at my house, I got ours here at the pool, but the one at the country club didn't go off for about another 15 minutes. So, you know, I don't know how these
A
things
little bit further away, that's why. That much further away.
are in my house.
Well, it could be different systems. So like the
Right.
Thor system
But
operates a
my
little
question is,
differently.
do we have lightning protection going forward at the new park?
Not protection, it's not,
Warning.
it's detection. We have lightning detection systems.
So the Thor was expensive?
Yes,
Or was-
it's cost prohibitive.
Really expensive.
Really expensive?
Yes. Yes.
What does it do?
We had Thor in 2017, we switched it to this current system. I'm assuming because of cost savings, but it was like $30,000 for
Is this
Thor.
a horn?
Yes.
Yeah.
You can't
And
miss
it
it.
picks up the signals 10 miles away or something like that?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
Yep.
That sounds like what the golf course stuff has.
Got to be similar.
Okay.
Yeah, Prac did look at it. It was on their agenda when they met and it
We
was.
now have a huge exposure with that new park that we never had that kind of stuff. When you're out here in that field, blind man can see it, but when somebody's playing a basketball game, they're not going to pay attention. But they're going to hear that horn, they will.
We had the exposure before with the pool. We always have the exposure.
Right.
Any other questions for Public Works?
I think we should.
I have none.
As Ed had said, that we are getting closer to the park realization. Probably would be advantageous for staff to sit around and do a kind of anticipating the park opening. What policies do we have in place? What are some of the issues that we might encounter, and literally just do a walkthrough. And that's everything from staff to operations to policies to procedures. Like just go through what if
That
scenarios.
July meeting might be a good example to do that, of just think, okay, we opened the gate, what do we do now?
What happens?
What happens?
So the guidelines.
I do have a question.
Prac started working on those months ago. So staff is working on those internally, considering Prac is taking the summer off because there are a lot of, I'm going to say quote unquote rules.
What ifs?
Well, just things that we've been operating, but this board has not formally approved. And it's I'm going to call them operational guidelines because Tony's going to shoot me with daggers over there. But yes, we are taking all of these what ifs, and from an administrative standpoint, we are going through the what if scenarios. So I know Flavia had a question.
Bobby?
Just kind of adding on to Doug's stuff, invitations, do you have a list that you can share with the board? Because I want to take a look at it, like who have we invited? If it's specific people out there, and also hearing from Carrie, any bite in on naming rights or anything on the sponsorship, like. I mean, has she had the ability to meet with some of the focus and gateway? I mean, foots in the ground, like what actions is she, given that she has the title, it's being taken in and what is the feedback?
She is not taking the lead on that. I am as well. They PrAC designated one of their members to
Okay,
work.
so then you can just tell me what is the buy-in? Like, do we have one person? Do we have two? Do we have zero?
We have zero right now. We have zero right now. The one that I thought would buy in has since reneged on that. I just did another post, had Randy do another post through LinkedIn, and I did ask the gentleman who reneged, if he would at least share the opportunity. If I'm being frank, I simply haven't had the time considering the rest of the projects, but we are pushing for it on social media. And I know we have one vendor that is still contemplating it, the naming rights opportunity. But kind of to your guys' point earlier, until they can see what they're buying into, it's kind of difficult to sell a concept. But I will make another push on this. Actually did a plug today with Ed from Beach Talk Radio and said, hey, I sent you the sponsorship package. If you could promote that, it'd be greatly appreciated. So we'll do another
Any feedback
push.
from Wink? I know you and I talked to, did we reach out to Wink News and did we have
I'll have,
anything?
I'll follow up. I don't know that I didn't directly reach out. I don't know if Randy did, so we'll follow up.
Well,
So-
one thing that I think we should
Oh,
do.
okay.
and-
So hold on, one more thing.
Okay.
So maybe an idea, if I'm gonna take what you're saying, I'm just afraid of more than ever in O&M costs, right? Because my mindset was always with, here are all those things, and I knew there was always a 50-50, a 30-70, but there was a chance that we get zero, right? Cutting revenues, cutting things that are gonna offset us, it scares me. And I just a dedicated, I mean, we're talking about if 1 hour a week, going out there and having a conversation with the business owners, having the one-on-one, not just for this, but just, for general feedback. What is it missing? What is it not? I think that is so important. And I think we're missing it. Maybe I know we're going to be really tight in schedule, but maybe they need to see it. Maybe we can do a special invitations for just the commercial people. They can come in and it'll be like literally a 45-minute tour so they can look into it and they can get the naming rights and then we'll name them at the inauguration of the park, like, so it's like, look, this is what you're going to see it. If you want it, that's the exposure you're going to have once, we'll incorporate the naming of it at, the inauguration. We have staff, I just need to know that we're working on those little things that are super important.
We get further along the line, some type of an open house for peoples that are invitees that would be potential.
Invitation
doing it.
only.
Well, I think what we should do is maybe take a little bit of guidance from the club, their event that they had last month. With the event at the golf course had a really nice turnout. Maybe we need to coordinate around the time of opening some type of event, whether it's we do a concert or we do a whole gateway on
Food truck and all that.
yeah, like literally do an all-day thing where we do like the red, white, and blue at the pool, and then we have, the pickleball's open, and we've got, some events going on, and we make like an all-day thing where people can come in and for businesses, have just representatives like us, just say, here's opportunities for for naming rights, and like just ramp it up like a good open house launch party.
If I'm being completely transparent, all staff right now, we are at max capacity, if not over. So
We
the
don't have the
guide,
ability to hire someone on a project basis, like, here's a $2,000 and go out there and see what we can get.
An
I
event
mean,
planner?
I hate to hear this right now, right? Because there were times, I mean, we're building this for a year and a half. So, 2 years, right? Last minute to me, I'm just frustrated, to be quite honest with you.
it is not fresh. It is not last minute. We've been working on these things. We have the Civic Rec implementation that we're launching live in preparation of this. That takes time. We have the guidelines that we have to work on, which Prac was working on. Now we have to pick up the ball because they took the summer off. We have the project itself on top of all of the utilities. I'm not trying to make excuses. I'm just saying that there is a capacity with staff. If any 5 of you would love to volunteer your time to help us with this, I'd appreciate it. But there's only so much that we can do within an 8-hour time period.
I would like to make a motion that you pull forward your project or program manager, get that job description put together and get someone in.
We are.
Because that should be building programs, sponsorship.
I agree.
That
I
should be
totally
their
agree.
responsibility. If we don't have someone within Parks and Rec today that is doing these things, then we need to hire someone to bring them in.
We are.
Yeah.
And again,
It shouldn't be your job. I think it should fall within Parks and Rec because that's where it falls.
again, we are drafting that job description. We have to post that job description. We have to interview for that. They have to do a drug test and
No,
background
I
check.
get it. Yeah.
So
Let's just pull it forward.
It's a process.
Yeah, I'm just saying, let's approve it. I know we were planning for down the road. I say, unless anyone disagrees, or we could do a motion, I think go ahead, we approve the hiring or creation and hiring of a project, what's it called? The program
Coordinator.
coordinator.
The intent was to bring that forward now. We're interviewing for the assistant public works manager, hoping to make a decision on that tomorrow. Brought that forward, realizing capacity with staff. So we're doing the things. You want it all at the same time. You have to tell me what you want to
Yeah, no,
prioritize.
completely understand. But I do think that it's really important for us to have a really great launch.
100% agree.
And we need to pump it up. We need to put banners out. There needs to be a PR campaign, a countdown to the park opening. We're gonna, cut a ribbon and just like it needs to be pumped up.
We are on the same page. That is the thing. That is the plan. That is the intent. It takes time.
August 6th is around the corner.
Yep.
I kind of liked Bob's idea of
event planner.
hiring an event coordinator for at least the grand opening.
Oh, 100. The plan is to contract that event, just like what we did with, OAK handled that groundbreaking. Thank you,
Groundbreaking.
dear Lord.
Well, that was kind of a dud, comparatively speaking. We're hoping for something
Well,
more robust.
Exactly. So,
More
but
like an actual event.
Right.
yeah. No, that is the plan. But again, there are all these pegs that have to get lined up to make that happen. Like building the things
But
first.
you've got a month now, so you can bring us back all the details and we can approve it at the next meeting.
I'm more worried that when the park opens, I go in, where do I get the basketball?
Oh, that's
Where's the
already,
ball
I already,
located?
literally, Ed, I have that on a
All
list. The
that's on
bocce
there,
balls,
okay.
the details, I literally have that on a list. It's just,
Let's go on.
please have patience with me and try
Monthly-
not to get frustrated, but, we're working on all the things.
The frustration's going to occur on August 7th. That's when the frustration will occur, if it occurs at all.
In September, you mean?
I'm sorry?
September.
And the big thing is, this board has always been supportive of if you need additional heads, if you need temp resources, we'd much rather invest in that now to give you a little bit of support, because we know you're carrying a lot. So take some of the things that you can refocus your attention on others.
and
If you need it, let us know.
Appreciate that support. And we are making the transitions, like I said, with these positions and getting that program coordinator. We're getting there.
Go on. Monthly reports, anything else?
Anything for utilities?
Already talked to that
Yeah,
with
we
Billy.
did.
No, he kind of jumped at the gun. I didn't
Jumped
ask
the
for
gun on
utilities.
utilities.
Well, utilities is actually second, so.
Should be in
I didn't have anything. Anybody else have anything for Bill?
alphabetical order.
Nope.
I didn't put that
Doing a great job, Bill.
Thank you. Thank you.
He got his G300 FEMA requirement that he spent the last 3 days doing.
He's been in school.
He's been in school.
It's a fun class.
Laura, so speaking of, Laura and I tag teamed last week, and she took a day and went up to the Florida Association of Special Districts, and I took 2 days to go up to the Florida Association of Special Districts, FASD. If you'll recall that acronym from the ethics training course that you guys take every year that you do, that they host for you. And I am proud to announce that you are looking at the FASD board member representing all community development districts for the state. So Gateway Services is holding that seat on the FASD board. So not only are we doing the things here, we are trying to promote CDDs and benefit of Gateway up. There's a wasp in here. We got to get that sprayed. But took 2 days last week to go up and do that. So I look forward to representing CDDs and Gateway at the FASD level and the state level and legislation, if there's any issues that come up or if we need any.
Yeah, get us a raise.
We just got something in the mail. I know I went online and did something.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
What was that? We just had to get a new certificate just within the last couple of weeks?
I
got
show
one
me.
and I called you and told you that I got it. What the hell was that?
Your statement of economic interest?
Oh, your
Yeah, I
Form
think we
1.
got the financial.
Form 1.
Yeah.
Your financial
Form
one,
Oh, I'm like,
your Form 1 needs to be completed
July 1st.
by July 1st. So those, we'll send you an email tomorrow and with the information to your personal email and your Gateway email. Form 1.
Okay, anything else on monthly reports? Let's go on. Fort Myers Communication. This is that deal for where they're volunteering over there to try to get City of Fort Myers to be the liaison to take our stuff and then turn it back over to us.
Well, they're not doing it yet. They're just, it's a feasibility, just a feasibility. If we
what-
want to do this,
Or is there some?
what do we do?
Some action that we have to take here on this?
So there's no action. So what I wanted to bring this to your awareness is it seems like there's been some communication with the city, unbeknownst to myself, and anybody at Gateway.
And I'm told by PPCA that did not happen.
Okay.
This is from the earlier inquiry.
Okay, so maybe
Nothing
this
current.
is their delayed response on getting back to us from
Correct.
7-8 months ago.
Yes.
Either way, I just wanted you to be aware, again, adding to the Thanksgiving platter of things that we're working on.
Is it still on the table?
Yes.
Okay.
So
No. We've agreed to
Have-
talk.
to talk.
That's what I mean. It's
Yeah.
That's
still,
all.
you
The
still talking.
district and we've agreed to talk. That's it.
Terry's here now, but, you know, I will be participating in whatever occurs.
Yeah, the table is open for business. Yes, Bob, I believe a year ago, the board voted
Yep.
for you to attend any and all of these meetings. Again, didn't know that any of this was happening. I just wanted you to be aware
It was a surprise to them.
that
too.
this came out just, May 5th.
No action needed on this?
No.
Okay.
But let me caveat, their engineering department did reach out to us to try to set up a meeting, and I pushed back and said, hold on, we will, but we need to have PPCA and others involved in this conversation. I since have not heard anything, and that was over 2 weeks ago.
Has anybody ever given them a list of what the assets are that are inclusive in this?
I have not, nor have I been asked.
And I'm not aware of anything prior to her being here that's been sent
The
over.
issue
Focus
is
initially
it's
is roads.
just a flow through is all it is.
The focus right now is just the roads.
Anything else need to be on that?
No.
FPL Orange, what is this, just update?
This is just an update.
Okay. And we pretty well talked about that at the beginning of the meeting?
Yes.
Okay. Tony?
Yes, just a couple of things. One is, with regard, just the conversation with regards to non-residents utilization of facilities. I think we've had this conversation before. The bonds are tax exempt bonds that were issued by the district. And so we need to talk to bond counsel with whether or not we can preclude members of the public from using the facilities. I think we can have a rate differential and a charge for them Otherwise, the tax exempt status may be jeopardy, may be considered private activity bonds. So, I mean, that's something we can, that's why we've always had a rate differential for the facilities. So I know that conversation came up today. And along that line, Chelsea, I know the admin building you're shooting for August 6th. How about all the recreational facilities like pickleball, basketball?
It's all part of it.
Same day.
All that day. Okay, and just thinking about it today and hearing this discussion, the idea about whether you're going to allow non-residents to use this, again, we removed from that list was the rates for non-residents, and that's what happened.
Only for the dog park.
I'm sorry. No,
Oh,
The original Peach stuff.
the whole Peach came out.
Yeah.
The whole Peach area.
correct, because we knew we had to work through this and that we were going to bring that back at a future date once.
But I'm just saying, if you want to have rates and charges in place at the time of the opening.
Understood.
Yeah, so the next board meeting is July 16th. And when's the next board meeting after that? August
6th.
6th?
Yes.
So
August 6th.
Yes.
if we,
Substantial completion is August 5th.
no, what I'm saying is I think it might be prudent to, on July 16th, have at least a rate schedule in effect for the non-residents. So that,
PrAC has not had an opportunity to go back and dive deep into this. So I was going to wait until after the opening to do this.
okay, because then on the opening now we have issues about whether to charge people or not that are non-residents. There's no regulatory scheme in place.
Would there, no, I don't even want to go down that road. I was going to say, would there be an opportunity to open it up for a week or two? Hell no, that all that is going to make it worse.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
It just,
Okay.
I think something, any idea of like an interim, we could have a rate schedule that's interim pending their final review. I mean, a final consideration, recommendation from
Can
PrAC.
we work through this offline, please?
Yeah. Yes, I just want to,
It was on there. We took it off because PrAC needed to go back and iron it out, and now PrAC has taken the summer off.
You're talking about what? The
Not the non-resident fees.
with regards to the, just go through this, Lee County wastewater rates. Been talking with Chelsea with regards to that, and she's been having some conversations about language that's in the existing agreement and what might be best for the district. So she's having those conversations with Lee County Utilities. Atlantic Pipe Services continues to be an interesting problem child, I'll call it, trying to work through that. We are working through sending another correspondence with a change order to address contract time extension, plus reserving the right for liquidated damages, plus discussing any, I'll call it adjustments for pipe size differentials will be adjusted at the time of final closeout at the unit price in the bids. We're just working through that. So with engineers and with staff. Dales Parkway Apartments, I think we're finalized on a temporary construction easement, Chelsea. I think that's all squared away.
You?
I'm sorry?
Did you?
I haven't changed the document itself or the easement. I think I'll double check my notes on that to get that out to them. The Santa Luz, I made amendments to the agreement based upon the board's conversations and directions, sent that on to both Santa Luz Council and HOA Council, didn't hear anything. So then I sent it on to the Santa Luz Council, haven't heard anything. So we'll just keep nudging them.
Well, that's getting complicated. President quit, left, sold her house. She's fed up with Gateway.
Yeah, and again, so hopefully we'll just keep pushing and the cost can't probably but go up.
Can't get anything done over there. Can't get anything done. It's frustration. You know, your owners just raising hell at you all the time, and Lennar just sits there and sticks it up your nose. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and we only know a smidgen of the 558 issues, not all of them.
Not,
It wasn't anything other than salaries.
Park amenities, operational guidelines, I will complete this. It'll be over the weekend. I'll get that to you,
I
Chelsea.
wouldn't even bother because I've totally had Randy revamp it.
Okay, can you send the revamp version?
As soon as I get eyes on it myself, yes.
Oh, okay, yeah, if you send that, okay. The Series 2026 bond issue, again, we're working, that's been addressed today. Zenner Lender about termination, non-renewal, a revised draft from Leslie. I think I made some other edits. I'm not sure if I need to get back with furthermore. I'll just double check that.
There was a follow-up question that
Yeah.
we need to answer.
Public hearing, that was taken care of today. Wiser, I guess we're still waiting for Wiser's review. Do we have that final review on the lease vehicle for Pelican Preserve?
There was something sent this morning.
Yeah, I haven't looked at that yet.
I haven't had a chance to look at it either.
We can go to the next page. Their disagreement, again, Chelsea said communications with them about how we can achieve that. Finalized and looked at the letter for the public hearings, and the notice, both of them. So the revised policies and procedures manual will set that, I think September, October we talked about.
We set that back a while.
There have been a couple of claims notices. That's the last one. And they come in the door. One is the hidden links that Ed mentioned. We have another issue where we got a claims unknown location, a date back in, we think we have the location based upon something else, but back in February of 2025, an alleged issue at a trip and fall. So we're working with the carrier council on that. And then we have another complaint came in, but we're just working with Chelsea on any claims that are made, keeping track of those files. On the election, what I'm thinking is, I don't know if this board is interested, but one of my other districts, the board members raised a question that there's an incumbent board member that's running for election. And I was asked yesterday, what activities can the current board members do to assist incumbent board members in the election process? So I'm researching that. It's Laley CDD. They asked that question of me yesterday. So I'm researching that. I don't know if the board was interested in my providing them with that research. When I get that, I'm planning on having that probably in 3 weeks, having that memorandum for the other district. And I'll share it with this board. And it's a combination of ethics code, sunshine law, campaign law, election laws. So it gets kind of tricky because you have two entities, Commission on Ethics, Division of Election, Secretary of State, are the sole parties that can opine on those two sets of laws. But there are some guidance in those opinions. So I caveat it saying they're the only two that can reference that. But then also sunshine law may come into play. So
We got people running for the
So
board.
are you asking, I have a question. So
We got people
so
running for the board
we-
that have announced their candidacy.
no,
and
I
they never come to
understand. I'm
meetings.
trying to understand the financial complications because we'll be utilizing Tony under the district to find this out. Why wouldn't it be the responsibility of the person that's running to make sure that if he or she wants the support for another board member beyond an endorsement to find out if it's illegal or not? Why are we using Tony? That's my only question.
Well, Tony, aren't you saying you're doing this research for another district?
yes.
And
Oh, okay, I
do
missed
you want,
that.
do you want us for you to share your findings with us?
What my memorandum is
I
will be
agree.
a public record.
I'm
Public
fine
record,
with
there's
that.
no
If you're doing
cost
for
or
another
no-
district
yeah.
and you're sharing with us, that's fine.
Again, to the extent that it's being relied upon by another district is whether they can rely upon them. But anyways, yeah, I'm doing it for another district. So I just want to let you know. So if y'all are interested in obtaining that once I. provide that
Do
to
we
them.
have any more information on that? What's that letter from Farah and Farah? Do we have any information on that?
We
That's
have a
part of
call
the
tomorrow.
call.
Do what?
We have a call with
But I mean, what's the issue?
We're not quite sure, but I'm trying to divine it only because, and I don't want to get into great detail here, because that person is a plaintiff suing Lee County for an incident that occurred on the same date.
Was this an automobile accident or something?
No.
Another walk across the fields, broke your leg.
No. So it's not, we'll talk offline about it. But what I did, I researched and Googled her name in the court files. I found a lawsuit by her against Lee County that occurred on the same date and appears to be the same general area. So we're thinking that's what the issue is. We don't have the details from Farah and Farah.
It's not fair.
And I don't want to go into.
Or Farah.
Ed, if you want to give me a holler, I'll talk to you more offline about that one.
Anything else?
No, sir.
I just want to touch real quick on the APS.
APS?
APS.
Okay, some more, okay.
Atlantic Pipe Services. We're in rainy season, and doing drain cleaning during rainy season isn't the most prudent. And so we're contemplating.
A storm sewer draining?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, it's, you've got 4 months of leaves. That's what you got all over this community.
Well,
It's a mess.
So we're talking about potentially finishing phase one and ceasing operations until future phase, until dry season. So we know we have hotspot issues, which we have an emergency contract on file. If anything comes up like the issue that
You're
came
just
up.
going to have to look at where you get street flooding.
Yeah.
Yeah, if one gets plugged up, then you
Yeah.
react.
But the second phase or the second part of that APS contract was an entire community. And in some other minor areas that I think we're just to cancel that contract, cancel that and be done with it until the dry season. And then, like I said, we know and the S curve by Stony Brook, that's always flooded. You know, Ed, we got a couple spots in your neighborhood that always gets flooded, 1 or 2 spots. And I think Pine Woods or Pinecrest.
You address the hot spots and let the other wait till dry.
I think that's exactly what
Yes.
you do.
So
Okay.
we're gonna cancel that contract.
Well, I'd rather not talk about what we're going to do. Well, right on here.
Anything else?
No.
And we're not meeting July 2nd?
No, July
you
16th, next
canceled it.
meeting.
Just that.
Any updates for the schedule?
You just have we are doing a workshop on the 16th and a regular meeting, so 2 o'clock.
Workshop for
Budget,
budget.
yep.
Okay.
And Chelsea gets to run those because I'll be.
So it's a 2 o'clock start.
Yes,
Yeah.
2 o'clock start.
I will be in training in Orlando. There's a mandatory training, 3-day training that we have to take in order to get our HMGP funds.
Period.
And it's from the 14th through the 16th in Orlando. So I will be there until 4 o'clock that day.
You're on your own. Okay, any other questions, any management items that we have, we'll talk about? If not, any board members have any comments? Carol?
Yeah, is it really beneficial to push to open the park at the same time as you do the building? Why not move into the building? You know, restaurants do what they call soft openings for their restaurant. They open,
Just for a select group.
yeah. So why not move into the building, get yourself settled, and then have your park opening? Do we have to do it at the same time, I guess is my question. Because it sounds to me like we're not ready for
I think construction timing's
everything at the
take
same
care of
time.
that for us.
Yeah, we're going to be in the building in July.
Well-
We don't do the other till August, in August. And
There are logistics with regards to permitting and closing out development orders and getting your certificate of occupancy. You can get a temporary certificate of occupancy without closing your development order out. We've talked about that in the event that happens, but as of right now, I am holding OAK to their feet to the fire to the contract, because when they signed that contract, they knew the expectation was to be done at the same time. So that is my stance.
But we all know in the real world, shit happens, you know? So why not concentrate on one and then do the other one a month later, 6 weeks later? I don't care. Pick a date.
I think what you're saying is, there is our contractual obligations with OAK. That's completely separate to when we open our doors to the public
Yes.
to officially open the park, or as opposed to administrative building. If you need, a couple weeks to get in and get settled, that's
You physically
fine.
got to put a lot of stuff in that building, and it isn't going to happen overnight.
Yeah, well, contractual
So you
obligation
gotta-
is
you
aside,
gotta-
like,
you gotta
yes,
lease
we're
them.
gonna hold A-OK to that, but if we wanna get in the building and then have our grand launch, a couple weeks later, that's fine.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
what difference is if it happens in September or October,
you're right.
after all this
Why
time?
put the
I mean,
extra
just-
I think to the public, the difference between the building opening in September to October, they probably don't care if it opens ever. But if it comes to the park, that's a different story. They want it open.
But I don't
But to
think you
Carol's
want
point, do it when it's more comfortable. When you got the building behind you, now you can really focus on the park, to invite the
I think
public.
our time's going to be taken care of and our problems are going to be solved, I believe, by the contractor and his ability to get it done first. So it's 6 weeks.
I have faith,
Doug,
substantial.
any comments?
Now you do?
Bob?
All meeting?
Well, we have a little contest going to see who's going to earn the pot of who's closest to the date. I have nothing else. Anybody else have anything at all?
No.
We're adjourned. Thank you.
5:39.
Thanks, Flavia.